All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Market Close. We are live. We got a bunch of different things going on in regards to the equity markets. A lot of different headlines we got to talk about. Some of these headlines that just came in. Also, we've got some earnings after the bell, some of them in the semiconductor space, which is going to be really important as well. So we're going to take a look at that and keep going from there. I mean, so far, folks, based on what we're seeing, looks like we're going to end out on a green day. Looks like we're going to end out on a green. Wow, I didn't even see S&P for the past 30 minutes. Not only did I not see it hit 684, it's at 684.90. It almost touched 685. Wow, what a day. I did not see that. But there you go. I did see Google get to 270. Right now, it's just, or get close to 270. It's at 269.74, just below that at 269.02. So Google having a great day. Tessie got to 460 at one point before a little bit of a sell-off right there. Tesla right now at 440 pounds here. Hopefully we get that 190 close. Even if we don't, above 189 is very nice. That's up 2.8% of the day. Robinhood, great day. Got to 149, almost back to 150. 147. Grab, a little bit of a breakout, up 4%. You got 610 on Grab. AMD up 2.2%. Qualcomm, which was up more at one point, gave back 50% of the gains. It was up 20%. Now it's up 10% based on them unveiling a new chip that potentially could be a threat to AMD and NVIDIA. It's almost like the market woke up after the announcement and said, hey, maybe it's not that big of a threat. So that one gave back some of the gains, but still pretty good day across the board. AppLovin's up 4%, Circle's up 0.5%, Pinterest is up, Enphase is up, Microsoft, Palo Alto Networks, Ethereum, 4,200, just went slightly red on the day, but still touched 42. You got Bitmine right there, 54.30. Bitmine finally breaking above that 50 level. It was at 47 last week, so nice to see it into the mid-50s, and hopefully we can get a close into that 55, 56 range over the coming days. SMCI up from the 10% decline that it had last week. Bitcoin right there just below 115. I mean, overall, it's been a pretty decent day across the entire board, and you're not seeing that much weakness across some of these different sectors. Where is HIMS? Okay, HIMS is showing some weakness. That one's down. Again, there's a short list of stocks that actually are red today. A lot of the other stocks are green. Rocket Lab is green. That's up 1.3%. ASST, this was the new name that Mike Alford took a position in. That's up 54% on the day. So if you got in it, I mean, you're probably up. If you didn't buy anywhere near the 180s, right now at 169, it was kind of hovering around 130, 140 for the majority of the day. So a bit of a breakout right there. And that one continues to go green. The one sector that is getting hit today is unfortunately these rare earth stocks. TMQ down 15, MP down 7, USAR down 8, critical metals down 15. A lot of this due to the fact that if tensions with China are not going to be as bad as we thought, the domestic demand for suppliers in the United States is not going to be as large. And even if it is going to be super important for the broader industry of supply chains, particularly around semiconductors and electronics, it might not be as massive as what the market had expected. And so that narrative has shifted a bit. And that's why you have a bit of decline on those names. Everything else, pretty much green on the day. So you're seeing some momentum. Yeah, even Dutch Bros picking up on the green. Now let's get into the first story. We got 11 minutes until the market closes today. Dutch Bros right there at 5.7%. The key earnings that I think most of us are going to be looking at are Cadence Design Systems. That's a very important one. Celestica, they have earnings. Confluent, if I'm not wrong, do they have earnings? Yes, Confluent, that's a software name. They have earnings. They're down 21% for the year. Cadence, another big company, CDNS, and then Amcor. They also have earnings today, so that's one that a decent chunk of us are interested in. Talked about that over the past couple of weeks, up from 28.50 to 33. So we're going to see what their earnings turn out to today. Cadence right there, up 18% on the day. Yes, and then NXPI as well. That one is also a big one that we should look at. Thank you, everybody, for the happy birthday wishes. Appreciate it a ton. I'll get to the super chats again near the end of the show. We're going to stick around if you are interested, and we'll have a little bit of a giveaway and some fun after the market close. Steve will be on at around 4:30, so we'll get some people on. We'll do some fun stuff, and yeah, we'll celebrate the day. SoFi tomorrow, that's also important. We'll talk with Steve about some of his thoughts on SoFi going into tomorrow. Now, the big headline as we get into the close is Amazon. Folks, apparently Amazon is, well, they're downsizing. Report says they are highlighting 30,000 corporate jobs being cut. And this might not be due necessarily to AI, because if it is, that's kind of scary, to be honest. But it might be more due to just organizational restructuring. A little bit of coverage on this, and then we'll keep going from there.
Too, in coming months. That's Steve Leisman. For joining us now with more reaction, Intelligent Alpha's Doug Clinton.
This is largely Amazon taking a look at its workforce and seeing where it can be more efficient. You know, something interesting has happened with this moment where everybody's talking about whether AI can replace jobs. Companies by and large have looked and they've said, where are the places where we might need maybe 2 employees working instead of 5? And they've decided to cut there. They've also used AI as an excuse, for when they're suffering or not doing great in certain business units, they need to cut down. And they say, well, we're going to look at AI to make us more efficient, where they just needed to do layoffs anyway. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening with Amazon, but I do think that this is following a trend of many companies within the economy, either slowing hiring or cutting workforce, and maybe winking at the fact that it's AI, like Jassy might have done with his letter that he wrote earlier this year, where when you look at it, you don't see one-to-one automation of jobs. So for me,
so what do we think, folks? I mean, look, as an Amazon shareholder, obviously, if you cut jobs, you cut costs, you cut expenses, that's good for net income margins, good for operating income margins, obviously good for EPS growth. Amazon right there up 1.3% on the day. But I am curious why exactly they are trying to go for 30,000 jobs. Wow, look at Apple. This is probably another reason why the S&P is moving. Apple right there, 268, S&P 685. Oh my goodness, 685. Dude, the Bulls are winning. It's just that simple. The Bulls are winning. They had a little bit of a hiccup on October 10th, a little bit of a $20 billion crypto liquidation hiccup. But then what did the Bulls do? They bought the dip. Bank of America said Friday, October 10th was the 5th largest inflow for single stocks in history. I mean, they bought the dip. 68 million calls were traded that day. A lot of those likely on the buy side as we had any momentum to the downside. So 685 right there on the S&P 500. My goodness, that's $5 away from 690, less than 2% away from 7,000 on the S&P. Absolutely incredible. You got Apple right here helping to contribute. Apple potentially going for 270, 268.40. That's up another 2% of the day. Apple's a big company, so 2% on Apple really does matter. Tesla right here, 452. AMD, that's up 2.3. And then SoFi trying to get that $30 close. The Qs, 628, all-time high on the Qs, up 1.8%. Continuing to make a move. You got Google. Are we touching 270 yet on the Googs? We are very close to touching 270, but Google and Apple moving, both of them big parts of the S&P 500, along with NVIDIA. I mean, NVIDIA's up 3%, 190, 142, had a bit of a hiccup after that Qualcomm news came out, but markets didn't care too much, and that's why you got NVIDIA right there at 191. Is Apple at 4 trillion? Is Apple at 4 trillion? Apple's really close, guys. It's probably, 40 cents away, not even a full dollar away in terms of share price to getting to 4 trillion, 3.984 trillion. Dude, if we see 2 $4 trillion companies in 2025, I mean, what a remarkable period to live through as investors. What a remarkable period to live through as investors. Tim Apple, baby. Tim Apple. Lemonade, is that moving? Lemonade is green. Wow, 11% on the day. Look at that. Some of the insurance names picking up a little bit. Oscar right there, that's also up 2%, maybe some capitulation on the shutdown, which is getting some of these names excited. UNH was red in the morning. UNH ended up going green. UNH ended up going green. Where is the fear and greed index? That's a good question. Fear and greed right here. Wow, we are still at fear. We are still at fear. All-time highs on the market by a pretty wide margin. It's not just a small all-time high. The previous all-time high was 673.95. We are at 685 and still have fear. I mean, what does greed look like? Is greed going to be 7,100, 7,200 or something like? Because if that's the case, we've got a long way to go, folks. We have got a long way to go to see how this plays out. Even Nebius making a move. Nebius, CoreWeave, a lot of these data center names. Look at that. Nebius right there, 125. That's up 8% on the day. CoreWeave, that's up 2%, 135. Iren also doing well, up 3%. Not all the Bitcoin miners went green today. You got TeraWulf, Hive, Bitfarms, and Cypher that went down, but CleanSpark's up, Iren is up, Marathon's up, Riot's up, Galaxy up. So you got a lot of these names that are still going green as well, which is not too bad. Again, I think the story of the past couple of weeks really has been earnings progression, and we're going to get a lot more earnings on Wednesday, and we're going to see how the story plays out. But the banks have crushed it. Consumer companies have crushed it. Restaurants have not been too bad. So if that can continue, that is more of a reason for the market to expand its multiple. Not to mention the fact we've got a rate cut coming up pretty soon. That's going to be on Wednesday. And I think the markets are also getting ready for what that rate cut is going to look like. Again, the big story of the day was Amazon and that 30,000 job cut. We're going to get more details on that probably over the coming weeks. But you do, and these are corporate jobs. These aren't people in the factories, in the warehouses. So these are more so like white collar jobs that Amazon is thinking of getting rid of, which again would be a total restructuring of their organization. Tesla, by the way, whales bought millions worth of calls today and over the past couple of weeks. We've been eyeing that 525 to 550 strike for November 2025. A lot more of the 560s were bought today for June 2026. So you've got a decent amount of people buying up those Tesla calls. Now, again, Tesla earnings wasn't the best, but at the end of the day, there's not that many ways to get exposure to AI in the way that Tesla gives you exposure, and it seems like the street doesn't care. Also, the upgrades that Tesla's been getting, even after those earnings, have been relatively bullish across the board. They got upgraded by Cantor today to 510 from 385. So you're getting a lot more people just saying, look, we really don't care that the numbers are not that good. We don't care that there's negative earnings growth. We just care that this story is going to play out the way we think it's going to play out, and we're willing to subsidize the story with a lack of profits today for exponentially more profits in the future. And that's why Tesla's green. AMD right there, 260. S&P 685.42, basically high of day. We got 3 minutes left until the market closes. S&P is really going for it right now. Absolutely incredible. AMD 260. We did hit Oh no, that's an all-time high. Why did I think we were? Oh, I was thinking of Google above 260. Wow, that's an all-time high for AMD. If it closes at 260, it's at 259.80 right here. That is an all-time high for AMD. Some of these stocks, it's hard to keep up with their all-time highs. Apple right there, 268.88. Is Apple at 4 trillion yet? Apple is at 3.984. Apple still below. No, Apple 3.991. If it's not today, it's probably going to be this week, as long as they can have a good earnings. Apple's going to 4 trillion. Microsoft as well, yeah, 3.954. Microsoft's not that far behind. Wow, what a day, guys. What a freaking day. It's one of those days that probably recouped a lot of portfolios that were struggling over the past couple of days. Apple right there trying to hit 269. It did hit 269. And you're continuing to see this move. Yeah, price discovery across the board is also something that we're seeing. Oracle right there, 281. That's slightly down on the day. NVIDIA still up 2.83. So the earnings watch list we have is Cadence. That's going to be a big one. And then NXP. What's today? 10/27 earnings. So we have CDNS. We have NXPI. The other one we have is Confluent, CFLT, and then we got Amcor. So these are the ones we're going to be looking at in regards to earnings. All right, here we go. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Again, thank you for all the birthday wishes as well. We'll do some fun birthday stuff after we get through the close. We'll have Steve on to the show, but deeply, deeply appreciate everyone that's here. Pretty incredible day. And it is very, very nice to see a lot of this market momentum after the past couple of weeks we had, where all of us felt the pain and got to go through some of the pain to get the gains. And it looks like today might be that day for gains after a couple of weeks of pain. So there we go. Yeah, Celestica as well. We'll look at Celestica and we'll put that on the list for the earnings that we got. All right, here we go. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Monday, October 27th. I am now 28 years old, and the stock market is now closed. All right, there you go. We are done for the day. Palantir did not give us the 190 close, but we got to 192 at one point, 192.83. Closed at 189. I'll take it. I will take it. Again, Palantir signed that letter of intent with the Defense Ministry of Poland. Lumen contract was $200 million. So you had a lot of different catalysts going the right direction for Palantir over the past couple of weeks. 189.14 on Palantir. That's up 2.44% on the day. Robinhood ends out the day at 4%. Almost was at 149. Closed at 146. Tessie, great day, 4%, 452. NVIDIA back into the 190s, 2.8%. S&P 500 closes above 685. Again, if you've been bearish, it's really hard to see that with all the bearish arguments one could make to see the S&P go not only at an all-time high, but a real a degree of magnitude of above all-time highs, or at least above the previous all-time highs. It's quite incredible. And then you've got the Fed cutting rates and earnings coming up. The most important companies in the S&P 500, 43% of them are reporting earnings this week. But the most important ones, aka the Max 7, are reporting in 2 days. If they deliver good earnings, I mean, who knows, dude? Who knows? Maybe that 7,000 is not that far away, as you've got rate cuts coming down the corner, and then you got earnings growth potentially leading to more momentum. AMD closes at an all-time high, or just below an all-time high at 2.68%, 259. SoFi, got the $30 close. Not too bad. Finally, $30 close for SoFi. Google, 268.95, just below 269. Grab got that 611. Grab was at 540 last week. So again, like a lot of names, it was on sale. And for those that took advantage of it, not too bad. Reddit, that's up 2.3%. Amazon's up 1.3%. Meta was up 1.6%. Meta back to 750 for the first time in 3 months. Elf, that's up 2.74%. Apple, 268.78, basically an all-time high on the close. SMCI as well, up 7%. BM&R, did we get 54? We got 53.60 for BM&R, 6.32%. Which is not too bad. Iran was up 3%. Pfizer was up a little bit. BABA was up 2.4%. The VIX was down 4% of the day. Very good for equities. Lyft was up 0.5%. And then gold was down in the morning. Gold still down. Basically 3% down in the day. 39.91 on gold. 46.78 on silver. And that's what we got. All right, earnings. Let's get into it. What do we got? What do we have on earnings? Let's get into it. Amcor getting a little bit of green after hours. That don't have the results yet. Confluent is up, or Confluent's down. NXPI is flat. And then Cadence is slightly flat. Celestica is another one we have. Let me see if I can get these numbers. Oh, we have Whirlpool today? Okay. I'll put that on the list as well. That'll be important for the consumer. Amcor trying to push 34 right here. Don't have the numbers, but let me get them in a second and see what we've got. Let me know in the chat which one of these names people own. Again, tomorrow's going to be the big day. I'll be live in the morning with Steve for SoFi. That is going to be a massive, massive day. And then we'll keep going from there. Okay, Cadence. I got Cadence. Here we go. Cadence beat EPS 193, up from 17% on a beat year over year. And then revenue 1.39 billion. Cadence looks like they beat on the top and the bottom. This one is slightly flat after hours to red. It's a very slight red, nothing too crazy. But that is great. But that is a beat on the top and the bottom. Beat by 8% and then beat by 1%. 193 versus 179, 1.3 versus 1.32 billion. Revenues up 10% year over year. EPS is up 18% year over year. These guys do chip design. It's an important company. Market cap is 200 or 95 billion. So, $100 billion company, not a small company by any means. But that one is slightly up. NXPI, don't have those results yet. Let's see if we get some of these other results. No, I don't have anything else. Waste management happens later in the day. It happens at like 6 p.m. So not really seeing that yet. Amcor, a little bit of a dip. You got a red candle right there. Don't have those results yet either. See if we can get these results. And then we'll see. Do I have this? I think I have this. Okay, net income or net sales, 1.99 billion. Gross profit, 284 million. Operating income, 159. Net income, 127. EPS of 51 cents. I think that came in line with expectations. EBITDA of 340 million. Stock is basically flat, 32.15. Not really seeing a big move up or down. Confluent, that's up 7%. I'll get more on those results in a second. But Amcor being relatively flat. Confluent, that's up 9%. That one moving. Whirlpool, that's up a little bit. CLS, Celestica's moving as well. And then NXPI, that is also up 0.5%. Yeah, Amcor got a double beat. CEO says Amcor delivered third quarter revenue of 1.9 billion, up 31%, fueled by demand for advanced packaging, which set a new revenue record. This quarter, we executed steep production ramps, achieved a record revenue in our communications and computing end markets, and broke ground on our new advanced packaging and test campus in Arizona, reinforcing our commitment to enable our customers' technology roadmaps and strengthen U.S. semiconductor manufacturing. CEO will also be going through a succession plan, so it looks like they're going to be putting someone else in the CEO position. But you got to beat on the top and the bottom. Stock is up and down, not really making a big move, basically flat. I mean, it was at 33 the whole day. Now it's at 33 after hours. But you do have a pretty big beat. And then Confluent, that's up 9%. That is up 9%. This is another software name that potentially was going to be acquired earlier this year. But it looks like that's holding on. F5, they also had earnings today, 439 versus 397. That's a beat by 11%. And then revenue is up 8% on the year. I'm actually not too familiar with this company, F5, FFIV. This stock year to date, $17 billion company, is up 15%. Cloud application security, online fraud prevention. Okay, maybe a sub branch of cybersecurity, but that stock up 15%. That stock up 15%. Network plus cyber. All right, well, that one moving a little bit after hours with a bit of a beat on the top and the bottom. Cadence now down 2%. Whirlpool and Celestica, those slightly green as well. Pretty much everything is double beating. Yeah, pretty much everything across the board, whether you own it or not. It is nice to see that you're getting some beats, and you kind of need these beats to continue. Up, Galaxy just offered $1 billion in exchangeable notes. Is that stock tanking, or is the market okay with it? Galaxy, it's down. Not down like crazy, but it's down. Galaxy is down 3.3%. Legend doesn't show you, but on Webull, it shows down 3.3%. $1 billion in equity. Didn't these guys already do a capital raise? Galaxy Digital offer $1 billion of exchangeable senior notes due May 1st, 2031. Option for initial purchasers to buy an additional $150 million. Proceeds to fund business growth, general corporate purposes, and potential repayment of 2026 notes. Okay, so I mean, look, if the demand is as strong as it is for data centers, then diluting by $1 billion shouldn't necessarily affect shareholders that much. But that stock is down a bit after hours. Rambus is down. Rambus is an American technology company that develops and licenses chip interface technologies and architectures that are used in digital electronic products. I didn't even know they had earnings, but let's take a look at them. Oh boy. Yeah, there you go. You're getting a bit of a beating right there. Let me pull up those numbers and see if they missed it. Let's also get some coverage on some of these other names. The Rambus is down on the day. Bitmine down a little bit as well. Is Ethereum moving down? Bitmine 53, nothing too crazy. Ethereum was at 4,200. Ethereum right here, 4,157. Get a little bit of a beating on Ethereum. Okay, so Amcor is flat. I mean, it looks like a pretty good earnings on the top and the bottom, but Street's not caring too much. Amcor more so is a 6 to 12 month play on a re-rating for their sales multiple as they increase growth. Looks like they had the best quarter in history in Q3, so the market is not upset, but the market's not super excited about that. Rambus right here, they missed by 14% on EPS, 44 cents versus 51 cents expected, 178 versus 175 million revenue. They beat by 2%. Okay, so Rambus did not have a double meet. This one's getting hit. And yeah, and Amcor Street wanted 1.932. They came in at 1.9. EPS, I mean, dude, the Street wanted 43 cents. They came in at 51. It's a decent beat. It's a decent beat. I mean, if you own the stock, you're probably not too upset at the earnings. It's just the Street's not overly enthusiastic. Also, this name doesn't have a ton of liquidity. I mean, it doesn't have a ton of volume. So realistically, it's more so them just having to keep executing, and eventually the numbers catch up with the stock price as well. Rambus, that one is the one getting hit. Cadence also, double beat, but Cadence not really getting any love or hate from the Street. I mean, a lot of these names that are up for the year, they're not getting hit that bad. Whirlpool, this will tell us a little bit more about the consumer. I don't see their earnings yet. That one I am definitely interested in. Lots of dishes and washing machines is what you would see. Oh my, that's a hell of a beat. Wow. Whirlpool, 3.92 billion. They came in at 4.03. So they beat on revenue. They achieved 50 million in quarterly cost reductions. Adjusted EPS was $2.09 versus $1.43 expected. I mean, dude, that is not a bad quarter, especially because they are also prone to tariffs. The stock is already down 35% year to date. So any piece of good news would be good for them. Again, a lot of the tariffs probably are affecting their cost of goods across the world, especially in China. Those are some pretty deep numbers. Those are some pretty good numbers. Galaxy's down 7%. All right, let me put up Webull because Legend is still not showing the after hours move, so it's hard to kind of see. But yeah, you are right. Galaxy down 8% on the offering. That's the other thing about these stocks that have run a lot. I mean, you cannot blame them for doing an offering because to them, they're like, hey, we're up 150%. If someone's upset about 150% thinking that's not shareholder friendly or that we don't care about shareholder returns, then essentially they're going to say, screw you, right? Like The stock's up 150% for the year. You just can't be that upset. So to them, they're like, all right, we need to take advantage of this 150% move and we need to raise some capital. It's very smart for these companies to do. Obviously, it's not the most shareholder friendly, but then they look at their stock and they're like, well, if our stock's not going to go down 150%, then it's probably something that most shareholders can't be too upset about. But the stock is tanking on this news, down 9%. I think this one gets eaten up. I mean, I don't know if the street gets that upset about this. We saw Iran do this a couple weeks ago. We saw Bitfarms do this literally last week. They did a $300 million convertible note. Now, that Bitfarms hasn't been able to recover since then, but Galaxy is a bit more advanced than Bitfarms. That one is slightly down. NXPI is up. Okay, NXPI. Let's see. This is another semiconductor company, $55 billion market cap. That one is also flat. Looks like earnings. EPS is $3.11. That's down 9% year over year. Revenue, they missed as well, $3.017 billion, down 7.2%. Okay, so you got a miss on the top and the bottom, it looks like, for NXP. Market's not giving them too much hate for that. Actually, no, they beat on revenue. It's a very slight beat on revenue, but they did beat on revenue. They did miss on EPS. EPS, they missed 311 versus 312. Again, also a slight miss. That's not a crazy miss. And then revenue 3.1 versus 3.16. EPS is down 10% year over year. Revenue is down 2%. Market's not caring too much. Amcor did have earnings. They beat on the top and the bottom. Best quarter in history from revenue perspective. Guidance looks pretty legit as well. I'm trying to get the official results. Let me go to their website, see if we have those, but street not really caring too much. Yeah, this is what you're looking at. These were the results right here. Almost $2 billion in revenue, gross profit $284 million, net income $127. EPS street thought would come in at 43 cents. They came in at 51 cents. I mean, again, a lot of these companies beating on the top and the bottom. It's just the question of if the street's willing to give them a little bit more of a multiple for what we got right now. Okay, let's see if we can get some coverage on some of these other names. And then we'll take a look at some of the headlines. First, let's do Whirlpool. We got this right here. Let's pull this one up. Looks like they also beat on most of their estimates as well. All right, here we go.
Whirlpool earnings are out, and it's a big beat on earnings. Revenue also coming in better than expected. Company also raising guidance for the full year, saying it is navigating the near-term unfavorable effects of tariffs, in particular saying it's being impacted by inventory loading from Asian competitors. You can see those shares are up about 1% right now. Well, while stocks rallied to record highs, bond yields did hold steady. The 10-year yield is sticking to 4%, just below.
10 years, still at 4%. Whirlpool, okay, so guidance wasn't the best for Whirlpool, but top and the bottom beats were decent. CLS, Celestica, haven't seen those earnings yet. Let me see if I can get Celestica. But we didn't get those numbers yet. Well also missed. This is another company. Let me pull this up. Well Tower. They missed pretty badly. I actually don't know what this company does. 41 cents versus 51 cents. That's a miss by 20%. Revenue missed by 1%. They're doing $2.7 billion in revenue. So I would imagine this is a relevant company. $122 billion market cap, real estate investment trusts that invest in healthcare infrastructure. Is this just a REIT? It's up 46. I don't know. I've heard of the word Welltower, but I feel like Steve has talked about these guys before. It's not doing well, that's for sure. Yeah, it's not necessarily doing well. But it's flat after hours. It's up 50% for the year, and it's not even moving after hours. So you're not getting a crazy move. Dude, a lot of these names not really giving you any volatility. Celestica, is that one moving just now? Celestica, I think that one's moving. Okay, boom. You're just getting a move right now after hours on Celestica, 5%. I think their earnings just came out. So Celestica giving you a bit of a move, but everything else been relatively flat. Let me see if I can get those numbers and see what we've got. SMCI at 53. I mean, I feel like SMCI was going to recover. Again, like if we saw the announcement when they fell to 47 last week, they didn't decrease their guidance for the fiscal year, and they didn't say they had a demand issue. It was just like some logistical reason for why they had to push out some of the revenue into Q2. So I mean, that one recovering makes a lot of sense, to be honest. 52.87 up from 47.95. Celestica's now 10%. Okay, so this is your big mover after hours. We haven't really had a big move besides this stock. Year to date, Celestica's up 224%. They're a Canadian multinational design manufacturing hardware platform. Market cap is $35 billion. They're from Toronto. I didn't know that. Wow. Most companies in Canada that most of us know are like the Shopifys of the world. There you go. Okay, let me see their beat on the top and the bottom. Wow, pretty big beat. 158 versus 149, 6% EPS beat. EPS is up 50% year over year. Revenue 3.19 versus 3.04. Revenues beat by 5%. Revenues up almost 30%, 28% year over year. Shout out to T-Dot giving us some earnings momentum. Look at that, up 9%. The stock was already up 225%. I feel like we never talk about Celestica. 220% year to date. Has Tanner even kind of talked about Celestica? I feel like he has to. It's a Canadian company. But there you go. That's up 9%. Oklo, by the way, ended the day up about 1%. Open Door down a little bit after hours. Big Bear up a little bit to end out the day. Bitfarms as well. NXPI, that's flat. Welltower, that's flat. Celestica's up 8. SMCI is up 3. I don't know if there's a headline on SMCI. It feels like there's a headline for this to be moving the way it is. Or there might be a recovery. SMCI. No, guys, I don't see any headline. I don't see anything. This is after hours, sort of like traders, algos coming in. I see nothing. I see nothing. Yeah, Sam says I don't see SMCI headlines as well. So I don't think we would see that. Someone said Bed Bath & Beyond has earnings today. Do they? Do they have earnings? Bed Bath & Beyond? If they do, they're up 6% after hours. I didn't even know these guys were still a public company, to be honest. Let me see if I can get their numbers. Wasn't this a meme stock a while ago? This definitely was a meme stock. It definitely had a squeeze. Hold on, let's look at the chart. 5 years. 2024 went from 16 to 34. Oh yeah, it did. 2020 was at $2. It went to 128. Yeah. This is 2021. 2 to 128. Dude, this is why when people say we're in 2021, I'm like, okay, but what stock is going from 2 to 128? Like maybe there's some examples that are kind of egregious, but is anything that egregious? I don't know. Bed Bath & Beyond, that's up 5%. It looks like they beat EPS by 5 cents. Revenue missed by $3 million. Improvements in their adjusted EBITDA, operating cash flow year over year is up. They missed slightly on revenue. And then EPS came just in line with expectations. That's not too bad. I mean, you can understand it. Their gross margin is up 420 basis points to 25.3%. CEO says the third quarter marks substantial progress towards achieving profitability, outstanding metric performance, as well as material progress at both T0 and GrainChain, two important platforms, driving our long-term goal of becoming the everything home company. And you have basically a miss on the top and a little bit of a beat on the bottom for Bed Bath & Beyond. There you go. SMCI, 213,000 call buyer, weekly contract. Someone knows something. Okay, so if someone's putting in 200 grand into SMCI for a weekly contract, I would also agree. Someone probably knows something. The question is, what do they know? We already got those preliminary results by SMCI. Again, there was those rumors of XAI contract that never fully materialized last week. That's the initial reason it pumped all the way to 58. There's a $58 call, by the way. That's the 213 that's going into SMCI on the strike. Maybe it's gambling. Maybe it is gambling. Who knows? By the way, Nancy Pelosi sold some of her Apple today, but she didn't really sell it. She kind of like gifted it to some university or something. She still owns like $30 million worth of Apple, but she sold like 250,000 of it today. So if you're seeing a headline saying that she sold, she kind of did, but she also didn't necessarily sell in that way. Speaking of politicians, here's an update as well. Dan Newhouse bought AMD on August 17th, his first ever buy of AMD. He serves on the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Energy. Today, the Department of Energy announced a $1 billion partnership with AMD to build 2 supercomputers. So again, we're not saying he knew that the Department of Energy would give AMD $1 billion partnership, even if he serves on the House Appropriations of Subcommittee on Energy. We're just saying he's a phenomenal stock picker. And, that is the implication from when you see this type of stuff. So shout out to Mr. Dan Newhouse for knowing his shit when it comes to picking stocks. AMD reaching that all-time high at 260 today, 259.75 after hours. NVIDIA still 191, Tesla 452, Palantir 188.72. Sam says he did due diligence for years. Of course, bro. He's been studying Lisa Su's philosophy and inference training for years. Being on the subcommittee for energy means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. So there you go. Confluent, we didn't get their results yet. Trying to see this one. CLS still moving. Confluent, okay, revenue $298 million. CFLT, that is up after hours. $298 million in revs. Subscription revenue, $286. GAAP net loss a share, 19 cents. I think that's better than expected. Confluent delivered a strong quarter with 24% year-over-year growth in Confluent Cloud revenue and 43% year-over-year growth in acceleration for remaining performance obligations. We're also seeing accelerating adoption of DSP components of our platform, said the CEO. Cloud revenue was $161 million, up 24% year-over-year. Our strong third quarter performance highlights the momentum of our data streaming platform and our diversified growth strategy. Our robust top-line growth, stabilized dollar-based net retention rate, and continued margin expansion are a testament to our ability to drive durable, profitable growth over the long term. Looks like the street is liking these numbers as well. There you go. He just watches Jose. Exactly. He just watches Jose. All right. So it looks like that's what you have on earnings. I mean, it's a relatively boring earnings. I mean, in terms of the volatility. Amcor basically flat. It was at 33.15 in the morning. It's at 33.02. CLS, that's one that is actually making a move. Looks like they had a pretty good beat on the top and the bottom. And I really have not heard much about this company. And the fact that they're a Canadian company is even more impressive. So this one now up almost 250% year to date. Cadence flat after hours. NXPI up a little bit. Confluent up 5%. And then Whirlpool guidance was low, but top and the bottom beats were good. That stock also flat. So really the story of after hours is Celestica making that 15% move. Waste management's not going to happen for a while. They usually do it at like 6 p.m. So waste management, we might see it a little bit later, but their earnings tend to be a bit after the bell. S&P still moving after hours. My goodness, 685.72. SoFi moving after hours as well, 30.22. And the NASDAQ moving after hours. I mean, we're still moving, which is not too bad. Yeah, dull day of earnings after the exciting move on the indices. But maybe that's okay. Maybe a lot of those names kind of just needed to consolidate, which you could argue is relatively healthy as well. So there you go. All right, that's what we got. That is what we got. Steve said he'll be on in 5 minutes. And then we'll talk to Steve. We'll get some of his thoughts on what's going on in the markets. Obviously, we got SoFi coming tomorrow, so we'll talk about that. Who's excited for SoFi? Oh, hold on. We got to do SoFi pump or dump. We haven't even done that yet. I should have done that in the morning. I forgot. I think it's going to be 90% of you say pump on SoFi. I think everyone is bulled up for SoFi, and I know everyone is thinking one direction, it goes the opposite, but I kind of think the crowd is going to be right on this one. SoFi pump or dump. What do we think, folks? What do we think for SoFi? What do we think? Do we have any other headlines today? We talked about Amazon, talked about the Tesla call options, talked about some of the politician moves. Oh, Robinhood brought closed-end funds to the platform. I'm going to be honest, I don't know that much about closed-end funds, but you can now invest in 400 of them. I have to do more research on what exactly a CEF is, but Robinhood's bringing them to the platform. If you are someone who invests in closed-end funds, then you've been waiting for this. A lot of people are waiting for bonds and mutual and index funds to come to Robinhood, but closed-end funds are here. And that could also be something exciting for Hoodie. Outside of that, we talked about the Hood upgrade in the morning, got to 161. Yeah, nothing else too crazy. Oh, take a look at this chart right here. This I thought was pretty cool. October 28th is the most bullish day of the year. On average, the S&P 500 since 1950 has been up 0.5%. The S&P 500 was up 1.12% today. If we go up another 0.5%, we are going to be inching towards 7,000 if the historical trend of October 28th actually stays intact. Oh, that would be great for SoFi. That is correct. That would be great for SoFi. So there you go. Should be fun. Tess says triple beat, then dump. I feel like a lot of us are getting prepared for that mentally to deal with it, but I also feel like everyone's thinking this is the quarter where SoFi re-rates. You know, you always have that one quarter where SoFi when any company goes through a transformation. 78% of you say pump versus dump. All right. We're going to see tomorrow. Yes, I bought 1,000 shares of SoFi. Average is 29. I'm riding with you guys. I'm riding with it. We're going to see. I feel like it's not crazy for it to gap up to 35. I really don't, given how the banks have crushed. But if it goes to 25, I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised. I mean, it happens with SoFi. But as long as the company executes, that's what probably matters the most. And look, if it actually does have a dump after good earnings, I'll buy more. I'll DCA. It is okay to DCA into a quality company. We just got to see how these earnings look like. Fed cuts will be on Wednesday. We're just assuming the Fed cuts are on Wednesday. The FOMC meeting will be on Wednesday. Hopefully we get a cut. We are like, imagine we don't get a cut, bro. The market would lose their mind if we don't get a rate cut. Trump would lose his mind even worse than the market. But yes, we're probably going to get a cut. Tanner is smart. I trust his math. You know what? That's my investment thesis as well, to be honest. Tanner is smart and I trust his math. I agree with that. That's one of the easier ways I've been able to invest in SoFi. Just Tanner is smart. Let's get a little bit of coverage right here on Apple as we get into those earnings, and then we'll keep going from there.
Everyone's getting bullish on the stock. JP Morgan this morning piling on to all those analyst commentary that we heard last week, saying they're expecting a robust high single-digit revenue growth, not just for the September quarter they're going to report on Thursday, but also in the guidance for the December quarter, obviously the biggest one, all on the back of that iPhone 17 momentum we keep hearing about, that this is a very strong iPhone cycle. So we'll be getting some real clarity from Apple just in a couple days' time, Scott.
Yeah, we'll continue to watch that, Steve. Thank you very much. Courtney, everybody.
Street's bullish on Apple. They've been upgrading it. S&P still moving after hours, guys. We're at an all-time high after hours. Apple, 268.70. 268.70. All right, there you go. There you go. That's what we got on the day. All right, so when Steve comes on, we'll talk some SoFi. We'll talk some of his market commentary. He also said he had something to say. I don't know what he has to say, but he was like, I need to say something. So I don't know what he's going to say, but we'll see what he says. And then after Steve, we will do a little bit of fun birthday stuff. We'll do a giveaway, and then we'll go through some of the old pictures that I said I was going to show you guys from my past. We'll do a little bit of a walk down memory lane, giveaway at the same time. And so we'll go through all that, and I'll get to the super chats as well. But it seems like that's pretty much what we got. Seems like that's pretty much what we got. The name of the cart book that's coming out is The Philosopher in the Valley. If you go to Amazon, type in The Philosopher in the Valley, you're going to see the pre-orders link. The Philosopher in the Valley is the name of the book. What do you think about the Amazon layoff? Someone said on CNBC it's a yellow flag right before earnings. Let's get a little bit more coverage on that. I'm not fully sure what to make of it. It was a bit weird for them to do 30,000 right before the quarter. It's almost them saying, hey, the quarter is going to suck, but look, we cut 30,000 jobs, so don't get mad at us if the earnings aren't the best, which, that is a little bit of a yellow flag, but maybe the earnings are good and they want to make the earnings even better by saying we're going to save a bunch of money. So we got to kind of see how it plays out.
In the long run, I do think that Wall Street will cheer for efficiency driven by AI that we will undoubtedly see not just at the Mag 7 companies, but across every company in America. But in the short term, I think there's a different question, which is hearing about layoffs this close to earnings for me is a little bit of a yellow flag, because politically it's hard to talk about doing layoffs and then have a monster earnings quarter. It's easier to kind of get past that quarter and then maybe do it in a few weeks. Now, maybe this news wasn't intended to get out right now. Obviously, it had been rumored for a few weeks. But that's something that I'm thinking about just in the immediate term is, does this sort of point to maybe a rougher quarter for Amazon here in a couple of days?
Yeah, Dan, you want to push back on this whole notion of AI displacing jobs?
Well,
is that what I heard you taking the other side of it? We're having this conversation / debate.
Alex is right. Like, obviously, Alex is usually right, so that's a safe assumption.
Okay, we'll go back to that. But waste management, folks, there you go. You got your revenue. Looks like it's a miss. Stock's down 5% right here. 6.4 came in at 6.5. Street one, it came in at 6.4. EPS 198 versus 204. It got a bit of a miss on waste management. This stock it's not really been doing the best this year. It's up 6%. It's not supposed to move like crazy. It pays a consistent dividend, but every opportunity it's had to really break out, it's just not delivered the best earnings. This is very similar to the miss they had last quarter. So you got a double miss on waste management. I don't think there's a demand problem for picking up trash. I think this might be more operational efficiencies inside of the company that led to these bad margins. And that's why you're getting some pain right there. So there you go. Waste management, that one is slightly down. I am glowing right here on the screen. So, we switched up the studio a little bit. I pushed everything up in order to scale out the background. I didn't realize that the sun would be shining right on my face when I did that. So I'm going to have to figure that out tomorrow, but there you go. Your boy is, it's not a birthday blunt. That's not what's happening. There's the windows are closed, but there's still a little peak where the sun is coming through. In a couple months, not even a couple months, in a couple weeks, we're not going to worry about this because it'll get dark by 4 p.m. in New Jersey, so the sun will be gone, but it's still not fully winter yet. So there you go. Yes, it's heaven light. It's heaven light that we got. Steve, what's up?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot.
I figured, what could I get him at that he doesn't already have, except me driving through the city on the market close?
That is more than I could ever ask for, to be honest. Hearing the road rage is, it's what we listen to the market close for. So
it came out before when a bicyclist went right in front of me.
Did you honk?
I mean, I may have.
Dude, you're in New York. They can through. You are in New York.
Yeah, this is what happens.
All right. So, you did say you had something to say. Were you trolling or did you actually have something to say?
No, you're going to have to blame somebody else other than me for what's about to happen.
Okay, what's about to happen?
Well, one of your friends from Miami reached out to me.
Okay.
And gave me an idea. And
Oh,
I
boy.
may or may not have, reached out to a couple people. So you're just going to have to wait and see.
Like a
Something
stock
will be
idea?
Something will be happening.
Are you talking about a stock or are you talking about an actual product that you're buying?
No, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens.
This is the most vague thing you could have possibly came up to say.
We're going to have to see what happens in the next couple of minutes.
Okay, we have someone backstage. I guess I don't know if this is part of what Mr. Steve is saying, but Tanner, what's up, man?
May or may not be a part of what Steve is saying. Thanks for having me. Happy birthday, Amit.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I had to hold my tongue in chat and not try to hold off a second. But yeah, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
A couple of us figured that we would get together and say happy birthday to you for a few minutes on your stream live.
Ah, okay. That I appreciate that. Is this an intervention?
It is
You
not
could
an
have just said
intervention.
that, bro. You made it so like mysterious. It's like, no, you could have just said, hey, we're coming on the street. Like, that's all.
Yeah,
But
but
I
we
appreciate
didn't want you to know.
Well,
I
it seems like
appreciate
And I
I'm
think
not the
one of
late
us
one.
is on a. No, you're not the late one. The other two are late, and one of them gets a pass. And I think he's on a plane.
Did you reach out to Derek?
It's not Derek that reached out to me, but somebody else with a D reached out to me.
That did not sound right, but anyway. Someone else is
What are you talking about? Somebody else that's first name starts with a D.
No, but you said with a D. This is a little different.
Whatever.
I'm just saying. Look, Donald Trump, Donnie T's coming on the stream, bro. The dentist? Is it my dentist?
It is your dentist. Ladies and gentlemen. No.
No.
Okay, anyway, well, while I got you guys here, first of all, thank you guys for being here. Deeply appreciate it. Tanner, we're going to be doing a podcast at 9:30 anyway, so we'll be talking. Dude, we got a big day tomorrow. I mean, you think we're going to really make a run for it? Is tomorrow the day SoFi gets re-rated?
It's going to be an exciting day, I think. I just don't know how much of this is sort of pulled forward a little bit. $30 going into earnings. I mean, we've never seen this before ever in history.
Yeah.
That said, if we get 1 million new members, I think the stock's going to head higher. I'm pretty excited. And you're excited. I mean, you actually bought into this company.
I did. I kind of had to, bro, because if this thing runs and everyone else is having fun, I'm going to be bored on the sidelines. So I said, you know what? I'd rather bag hold than miss out on the fun. I also do fundamentally think like they should be setting up for a good quarter, especially with rate cuts coming. So
Amit, reached out and he said, Tanner, should I buy this? It was like around $26 or something. And he goes, should I buy this company? And I was like, well, if you don't care about it, like probably not. Like we never know what's going to happen on earnings. So like, buy something that you're actually convinced on. And then he said, okay, I'll buy 1,000 shares. And then that was it. So
you're our quant, bro. You're our quant.
I did not tell him to buy. This was his purchase. So it cannot go on me. This is 100% you.
This is getting blessed by Amit. It's great.
It's 100% Tanner. It is not me. So we're going to see tomorrow how this plays. Look, here's the thing. You get all the pressure because you're the SoFi guy. So if it goes to the moon, you get all the love. And if it goes down, you get all the hate. Now, none of the hate is justified because the stock is up 112% this year. And even if it's up 80% by the end of the year, who the hell cares? But that's part of being the guy, right? So,
well, you know what? I don't know if there's many companies that you put your money on that go down on earnings. So it's actually pretty exciting for me that you're a part of it because then it almost like, it's confirmation bias for me.
Yeah. Well, your videos are confirmation bias for me. So it's just we're all circle jerking the confirmation bias.
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers.
There you go. Steve, I heard on the SoFi Weekly you were a little bit more bearish than bullish. So do you think tomorrow can really be a good quarter?
Yeah, I mean, look, can it be a good quarter? Yes. Is it going to 45 anytime soon? I am still skeptical. But if they blow out 1 million members tomorrow, I mean, I think that's going to change my opinion pretty quickly. And when they did the dilution, Tanner and I were pretty bullish about it, even though a bunch of people on X weren't. So I do think they're going to have the ability to put up a good quarter. And I'm very interested in what the commentary is around rate cuts and what they're seeing in the housing market. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like what do you think, Amit? Not only on earnings could we see a pop, but then the day after, there's a high chance that we see a rate cut afterwards. That seems like a pretty decent setup for SoFi stock. I mean, how could it not be?
Well, that's another reason I bought. I'm like, okay, so rates are coming down and you've got a quarter where I think Noto, I mean, even the way that he's tweeting, the way that he's kind of publicly talking about it, seems pretty bullish about. So those were two catalysts that's hard to ignore. And then second of all, it's like all the banks have crushed. So why would I fade another bank that's growing way faster than the other banks that has a lot more growth baked into it that just released level 1 options and crypto or crypto's coming down the pipeline. So I just think there's more tailwinds than headwinds. And that's why I wouldn't be too like scared to take a bet even at basically all-time highs for SoFi.
Yeah, all the banks ended up putting up good earnings. Lending Club, essentially an identical business model to SoFi. I think it was up like 11% on the day. Like everything is lining up for them to have a smash earnings. It's just we'll find out tomorrow morning what actually happened and if we were correct.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll be interesting to see Noto on CNBC.
Yes, we will likely also see that as well. All right, I see someone else backstage that you guys. So we just decided to make it a party, didn't we? We just decided to make it a party. Roy, what's up, man?
Sorry, I have no sound. Give me just a minute.
Hey, good job, Roy, keeping up with the message string.
Oh, I'm here.
There was a couple tropes every episode.
5 minutes earlier.
Roy's stream is always messed up. Amit's always blaming StreamYard for his laggy internet.
Matt's in the background, but the screen is black. So there Matt. His screen is black, so I'm not going to bring him up yet. All right, well, we got the gang on town. We got the gang in town.
Happy birthday.
Where's Marco? Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. It means a ton.
28. How are you celebrating?
I'm analyzing the global capital equity markets at 4 p.m. on the market close with you guys.
This was supposed to happen so much faster than I was the only one that followed what Steve said.
Ridiculous. I sent them a text in this thread. I'm like, all right, timetables moved up. And of course, Matt said, yeah. And he's the last one on. And he's the one that actually responded in the thread.
Okay, to be fair, though, it's a Monday. You guys, some of you have jobs. Like, I don't expect anyone to capitulate their schedule.
Right, but we planned this at like 1 p.m.
Exactly. So that's the other thing. Like, that's
maybe even earlier.
Though Steve sent out that can you guys go earlier? Basically 15 minutes before we were supposed to go. I'm in the middle of cooking, getting stuff ready for dinner. So I'm not late. I'm on time. I'm not Tanner. Tanner was also very early. So congratulations, Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner's now Captain Early.
It means you guys did not need to do this, but it means a lot. I appreciate you all being here. Appreciate you all celebrating with me. I think Matt is backstage.
Hey.
There we go. We got him.
Sorry, I'm trying to get past all these firewalls and God knows what in this fortress that I'm in over here.
No, do not apologize at all, dude. Thank you, man.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Take your shirt off. Just kidding. Don't do
that. I tried to get someone on Cameo to wish you a happy birthday, but there was no one really in the finance space or anyone that you would know on Cameo. I was like, man, can Tom Lee do a quick video or something? I was trying to get something for you, but I couldn't find anything. But yeah.
I love it. This is like the Spice Girls performing. Yes, exactly.
Well, I love that. Yeah, it would be good to get Tom Lee on. That'd be awesome.
I love that you guys did the market close when I couldn't make it on Friday. It was so cool just to see because people it was an all-time high on Friday. Everyone wanted a little bit of community, a little bit of close with other, and then that's the cool thing about this community, dude. I'm just so grateful for the fact that all of us are here. I'll call into Tanner's stream. He'll call into mine. Steve will, all of us just collaborate with each other seamlessly. And I think that's what makes it fun. That's what really makes this whole journey so fun. And
I was absolutely exhausted. I was working from home and I was like, I need a nap. I had a big headache. And then I looked at my phone and I saw that you posted that you weren't going to do a close. And I was like, I can't let this happen.
Can't let the people down.
This needs to happen, and so powered through it, and glad that we were able to make it work out for everybody.
I love it. Means a lot. Means laps a lot. All right, so I'll ask you guys one question, then I'll let you guys leave. Again, really appreciate you guys even hopping onto the show. First of all, let's just do a straight up market question. We'll go around the room. All-time highs on the S&P still moving after hours, basically 686, 685.95. Tanner, we'll start with you. Just reaction to the market. Oh, there you go, 686. Reaction to the market doing what it's been doing.
I think, by Thursday, we're going to see more than a quarter of the S&P 500 earnings be updated. Just in those 5 names, Meta, Google, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft. That's 24.6% of the total weightings of the S&P 500. So if they all shine, if everything goes through as expected, then we could see an explosive rally. And I do actually think that we're going to see north of 7,000 by the end of the year. So I remain bullish. And all my chips are on the table. I mean, I can't find any cash anymore.
Okay. Steve, you are calling 7,000 at 4,800. We are awfully close. What are you thinking about this market?
Higher.
Okay. There you go. What we need.
It's going. I mean, look. How can I change my opinion? Right. I was at 7,000 beginning of the year. I've been 7,000 the whole time. I'm not revising it down. I'm not revising up. I'm just sticking with 7,000.
Okay. Roy, your thoughts on rate cuts, earnings, and the market hitting all-time highs?
I mean, pretty much everything is very bullish. There are, some things further on the horizon that are not necessarily, but there are some that are sitting heavy in cash or all cash. I'm like Tanner. I have very little cash left, probably 1% cash at this point, and it's probably going to be deployed this week. We're the roller coaster is still in full operation, so there will be times where it's on again, off again hits with tariff stuff, but there's real underlying momentum in the market. Of course, the tariff stuff being resolved. If it's not permanent yet, but if that's actually the case, there's not much in the term of worry to prevent the bull market from continuing to climb as long as earnings are good. Tanner said it best there. And so this week, I think, really tells us that rate cuts also very good for the markets too. So it's a good time to be invested, and glad that I think all of us are pretty much fully invested. So.
All right. I love it. Matt Money, what do you think? We're going higher?
Yeah, I don't believe in cash. So somebody said cash in the chat. I agree with that. I generally don't believe that. I'm normally fully invested, and every paycheck that I get, I generally put all that as much as I can feasibly into the markets. But I mean, I do feel like we're getting a little tired here, but I don't think that it's tired enough where we're going to see it top out. I do think that we still have another 5 to 10% to go before we really turn over. So I feel that means that we have another potentially 500 points potentially to go in the market. So I could see us getting to 72.50 before we really start to see some sort of large retracement. You started to see some efficiency gains. You just saw Amazon potentially announce 30,000 potential layoffs. Actually, just like 10, 15 minutes ago, an article, I think it was from Reuters, released about potential 30,000 people laid off. So I think people are really trying to find where that next dollar is coming from to hit the bottom line. And, that coupled with efficiencies gained from AI, I don't think that we're done here. And these companies, believe it or not, even though everyone's thinking the S&P 500 is expensive, I mean, Steve went over it in a really good fashion yesterday on his big tech earnings kind of preview. These companies are growing at a pretty expansive rate. And when you look at it on a forward, 2026, 2027 basis, if they hit the numbers, they're actually not that expensive. And these are premium businesses that are going to continue to deliver. So, but that being said, they're running out of capex, so to an extent. So unless they grow massively, I do think that you'll start to see some growth slowdown. But before we do that, I think we have another 5-10% to go easily before we see some retracement.
Yeah, and I think, when you said we are getting a little tired here, I would agree, but it's also like we just had that 3% drawdown. So, maybe that was like peak tiredness, and markets needed to get some of the froth wiped out of everything. SoFi got to stupid prices. A lot of these companies just got to dumb prices. And now we're getting a bit of recovery. And it doesn't mean we have to go back to all-time highs, but you're starting to see some of the more quality names get back to the juice they were having before. And if they can follow up with good earnings, maybe that's what really can keep this rally going on. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm very, very blessed to have you guys as friends. Really means a lot. Roy, I see that right there. Yeah, we're still at fear at 37.
Yeah, that's the funniest saying about this market right now is, does today feel like fear? No. There's a lot that goes into this, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Watch that go to greed pretty quickly when you get a rate cut and all 5 big tech companies all slaughter earnings.
Thanks, Amit.
Right.
Thanks for having me, man.
Wait. You guys, you're not going to sing?
No.
Yeah, no, I was going to sing. I thought you were kicking us out. Our whole plan
Tanner's
was
ready to sing. What about Steve? What's going on? Where's the song?
There is none.
So you're not going to sing Happy Birthday?
Absolutely not.
What type of what was the you're really not going to sing Happy Birthday, dude?
No, because there's no candle for you to blow out.
Oh, good excuse. That's a good reason. That's a good reason.
I thought the plan was to sing. I mean,
Matt, you have a singing voice. If
Matt does have a no. If Matt's gonna do the Marilyn Monroe Happy Birthday, okay? And he's gonna have to make me leave the room if he does it, because I'm gonna be like, well, Matt, Matt would be a little too seductive if he does it.
Matt in a sundress over a sewer, trying to hold down the dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have something. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. First of all, best community on YouTube. Absolute best community. Did not expect you guys to do this, so it means a lot to me. And I'll be live with Tanner and Roy in a couple hours anyway. But appreciate you guys. Love all you guys. I'm putting all their Twitters and YouTubes in the chat and in the description, so please make sure to check them out. But thank you guys. Really means a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Later. Wow, those guys are nice, dude. I did not expect them to do that. I thought Steve legit wanted to come on because he had some stock he wanted to talk about. But that was very nice. That was very, 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 very nice of all of them. I mean, they really did not have to take time out of their day on a freaking Monday to do this. But I appreciate them. See, and this is all the cool part about this journey is when you're doing it with people you really love and you're not doing it with them because of money or external motivations. It's just you love doing it. I've never paid Steve to come on my channel for the past 2 years, even though he's given such valuable content. So when he starts his own channel, I'm very happy to support him and proud to support him. But I think you guys are as well. And same thing for Tanner. Roy started a year ago. So it's I think all of us just want to support each other, and it's never been about money or jealousy or any of that stuff. It's just been about, hey, we like talking stocks, and we like to all build together, and that's why it's so cool doing it together. There you go. All right, that's what we got. How are they nice? They didn't even sing to you. But if Matt sang, I might have had to leave. If he did the Marilyn Monroe song, it would have been a little different. All right, so here's what we're gonna do for the next probably hour. I will get to the super chats at the end. We have 2 things to do. We have some photos that I promised I would show you guys last week of my past. It's 20 photos, nothing too crazy. It'll be just some fun photos to run through. It's there's some embarrassing parts to it, but it'll be fun. It'll be let's just say we're all gonna get closer here. And then we have this giveaway that I want to do as well. And I think the way we're going to do it is a giveaway. I think we'll do questions in the middle of looking at photos. What do we think? Or do we do all the giveaway questions first and then the photos? I'm not fully sure how we can think of doing it, but I think we kind of mix in the questions with the photos. I feel like that might be the easiest. Photos, then questions. Mix. Okay. I think that works. Let me pull this up right here. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. Do both. Yeah, I think we'll do it in the middle. That should work out. I'm putting these photos in a corner so I can pull this up. Do I have this here? Yes, I have this. Perfect. Okay, cool. So I have the photos. Perfect. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so we talked about Amcor earnings already. We're not going to listen to the call here. I'll listen to the call later. Stock really didn't react. Oh, it was a good quarter. Stock doesn't care too much, 32.85. The only stock that really reacted after hours was Celestica. Look at that, up 11%. Everything else pretty much flat. S&P, though, still moving, which is incredible. NVIDIA moving, Tesla, Palantir, Hood, all those moving. But the earnings name's not doing too much. Okay, cool. So I think we'll do questions, and we'll do like a photo and then a question. Photo and then a question. We'll do something like that. Or actually, no, dude, because when we're doing the photos, we might as well just stick on the photo. All right, so we'll do maybe a couple photos, and then we'll switch to a question. A couple photos, we'll switch to a question. We'll do something like that. I think that's the best way to do it. All right, so let's get into it. These are in no particular order. They're just, all there. And yeah, this is this is what we're gonna look like. So there we go. All right, cool. So let's get started. So I'll pull these up and then we'll do a bit of exchange. All right, so this is the first photo. So here we go. This is let me put the chapter in on YouTube. This is birthday photo special. There we go. We'll start from here. So it'll start off cute, and then we'll progressively get to the years of me not really knowing how to dress. So this is one of my favorite baby pictures. You guys can see this? Can you see this on the screen? Yes. Okay. So this is me after I dropped a ton of rice on the floor or something, and I told myself I was gonna, pick it up with a dustpan and a bin. And I told you guys I was a cute baby, bro. I told you guys I was a cute baby. We got the carp hair going crazy. And my mom just decided to take a picture because I was like, oh, I'm going to clean this up myself. So you still didn't know how to dress. Yeah, exactly. So this was the beginning of AK Media trying to fix up every mess, even if I caused it. And yeah, that's your boy. That guy, dude, everyone says that's got to be your sister. Everyone says when they look at me. Because in India also, there's this tradition where you don't cut a boy's hair until they're 3 years old. So when I was 3, I was bald. But until I was 3, I had a ton of hair. And so, yeah, I know a lot of you guys saying that's your sister. It's me. It's me. Big ass smile. I realized I got caught trying to clean up the kitchen, even though I made a mess. And, my mom just wanted to take a picture of that. So it's a cute baby, bro. It's a cute baby. I don't know what happened, but it was a cute freaking baby. It was a cute baby. All right, here's another one in the baby world. And I don't even know what the event of this was. I don't even know why. I don't know where I was going. But again, it kind of looks like a girl, right? Because of all the hair and everything. The boy was cheesing so damn hard. You had a large mouth. Yes, I did. It was a signal of the yapping that was eventually going to take place. And so there you go. Bright smile, baby swag. First words we're currently right now. Dude, when I have a kid, that is what I'm going to try to get their first words to be. Don't say dada. Don't say mama. Say currently. Currently. And then say right. And then say now. That would be hilarious, bro, if we did that. So there you go. That was your boy swagging it up as a little bit of a baby. Okay, some more pictures. So this is going to be out of order now. This is just going to be random stuff, and we'll pull up a bunch of different things. All right, so let's just get the embarrassment part of it over with. So this was one of the photos I previewed last week where I said, it was going to prove that I really didn't know how to dress. This was me in 9th grade, and I decided to walk out of the house looking like this, thinking that it's a fire outfit, thinking this shit is legit. Yeah, it wasn't that legit. So first of all, you got the camo shorts, you got the blue sneakers, you got the black and white hat. Then you've got this cardigan. I don't know what the fuck that I was thinking with this cardigan, but this was, this was your boy back in 9th grade. This was the guy who was discovering the world. It was the real life Kevin. I told you guys, some of these pictures, bro. Some of these pictures are me as a youngin trying to figure out the world. And we were trying to figure shit out. So there you go. That's what you got. I told you guys this is how it was gonna be. That's what we got. Dude, I got clowned for this picture so hard a couple years later. Like a couple years later, some of my friends found this picture in it was either a senior year or I was going to college. And they were just like, what were you thinking? And I was like, I thought I looked good. And they were like, you look like a fucking idiot. I was like, I know, but I didn't realize that at the time. And so it is what it is, but that's what it looked like. Oh, we got someone backstage. Mr. Patel, what's up?
I am about to fly, so I'm on the plane right now, so I might as well just wish you a happy birthday if I don't get a chance to when I land and my battery's dead. So happy birthday, sir. I hope Palantir drops to your birthday number, and when it finally does, I'll be buying as many shares as I can. But until then, happy birthday, and we'll wait and see.
So you were the guy that Steve was saying was on the plane. I was thinking of that. Okay, got you. Thank you, Chris. Means a lot, man. Appreciate you. For those that know, Chris actually called me on Saturday because he thought he had missed my birthday, but birthday ended up being on Monday. So appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for everything. Means a ton. There you go. All right. He's out. He's catching the flight. I was like, who is Steve talking about? Someone who's on a plane? I was like, what's going on? But yeah, there you go. That's what you had on Chris. All right. So this was high school, right? This was high school. This was just not the best look in high school. But it really didn't get that much better in college. I mean, it really didn't. So this was, okay. So the story behind the next picture is that I had just finished one of my first consulting contracts for the public speaking and debate consulting firm. I started literally when I was in junior year of high school. And I just got paid a fat check. I got paid $3,000. And I was like, it was New Year's Eve. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go throw a party at the apartment. So at the apartment I was renting at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take all my money and I'm going to go buy a ton of alcohol. And so what did I do? I bought a ton of alcohol, as you can see right here. Now, what did I do with the outfit? I don't know. Okay, you got these pink pants. I don't know where I got pink pants from. Then you've got these dress shoes. Then you've got this blazer on top of this blue shirt with a black tie. It doesn't even you should be wearing a bright tie for wearing pink pants. And then the hair is just going crazy. And then the caption on Snapchat was, I swear this is one of my best photos in my college career. That's not even how you spell career. So again, this was, it's it was just part of being in college, I guess you can say. It was a fun night though. I bought so much. I ordered so much. I basically blew half of the check buying alcohol and pizza because I wanted to throw a party in my own. I had thrown parties before, but I wanted to be the actual host that really throws a party. Maybe that's why I love doing the meetup so much. I always like hosting. And so I did it. I don't know where this outfit came from. Dan Ives 2.0. Oh my gosh. Is that how you pronounce it? No, maybe I was drunk when I was typing the caption in, bro. But who spells career like that? It's just everything about this is horrible. How are you ranked US 7? I don't know, but it happened. So there you go. Those were some of the college days. Okay, what else do we got? Well, this photo I think was interesting. This outfit wasn't as horrible, but this actually was my birthday 5 years ago. And it was in Jersey City where I live now. And it's such a fuckboy picture, to be honest. But I was sitting on the edge of Exchange Place, and now I go there almost every other day when I'm eating lunch. And so I remember when I took this picture, or when my friends took this picture of me, I was so inspired by the New York City skyline, and I was just like, man, one day I want to be close to this. And I'm not in the city. which I'm actually happy because taxes are about to go up a lot in the city. But I'm close to the city, very close to the city. And so a little bit of a full circle moment for me 5 years later, actually getting to live. It's technically 6 years. No, it's 5 years. Yeah, 20. This was October 2020. October, yeah. So 5 years later. And so living there now. Indian boy band cover. Exactly. But it is nice to be back and share some of those memories. All right, let's get into some juicy pictures. Let's get into some other pictures that we got. So let's just see. We're going to run through a couple of them and see what we got, and go through some of them as we progress through memory lane. Oh, I mean, I don't know, folks. I don't know about you, but I think that's a woman. I think that's a woman right there. That to me looks like a woman. So that's a picture of me with a woman. Let's go to the next picture. Oh, wow, folks. I don't know about you, but I think that's another woman. I mean, it's almost like someone who curated these pictures was trying to paint a particular narrative around their sexuality. I don't know, but like that is another woman, if I'm not wrong. I think it's not AI, bro. Get out of here. Freaking AI nonsense. Not AI. All right, next one. Wow, that's another. I can't believe it. That's another woman. That is incredible. Whoever cultivated these pictures really must have been putting in some work to find the memories of someone's life. All right, let's go to the next one. Wow, another one. This is just crazy, bro. I didn't cultivate. I had my assistant. I told you guys I've been hiring an assistant. I told them to handle this. I didn't know they were going to put these many photos with females here, but nonetheless, I mean, like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's look at the next one. Oh, wow. It just happened to be another. Wow. That's pretty incredible. This is actually one of my best friends. This is Sherry. I love Sherry so much. I still talk to her, but she's like legit one of my best friends. But just then, you have so many nice sisters. Dude, I hate you guys. This is Sora. This is not Sora. Goodness gracious, this is Sora. Gemini 2.0. There you go. This is actually Sherry. This is one of my good friends. So I do love Sherry. All right. So some other pictures right here. Now, these three, I think I showed this picture a while ago, but these three were actually three of my best friends who were girls. I didn't date any of them, but these three, Mona, Sherry, and Temi, I keep in contact with a couple of them. Some of them just moved away, so it's been a while since I've talked to them. But, these were three of my best friends back in college. And, I've said this over and over again. Some people that are new to the channel probably have not heard it, but I have always had girl best friends in my life. I don't know why, but like genuinely, I've always had girl best friends in my life. And I don't know why. Like, I really have not had that many guy best friends as I've had girl best friends. So that's not the gay best friend. See, like everything, every narrative you can't navigate. It isn't helping the allegations, but no, I really have had a lot of friends who have been girls who've been best friends. I think there's a level of femininity that I have when it comes to listening, because like the one thing women are really good at is listening. And I think, quite frankly, and this is very logical here, to be a good communicator, to be a good debater, to be a good interviewer, you need to listen. Because to form your next question, to follow up on an idea, you need to be able to listen to the ideas that are presented in the first place. And I think I've been a really good listener my whole life when it comes to conversating, with the opposite gender. And so as a result, that's what's led to more friends who are girl. Women are not good listeners. Okay, maybe not all women are good listeners, but they're definitely better listeners than guys. Let's just be objective. Guys freaking suck at listening. Bro, you're yapping all day. Okay, but the yapping is due to the ability to listen to, what people are saying. Tanner says 28 is a good age to come out. Tanner, if SoFi doesn't hit 35 tomorrow, we're going to have to talk. We're going to have to freaking talk. Here's another picture with three of those friends. We were at a bar in Rutgers. I think this was 2020. This was right before the world shut down back in freaking COVID time. This was like the last couple nights we even got to go out and have some fun. But these really were some of my best friends. And so it was cool conversating with them. This is another picture. This was my first car. You had the Honda Civic 2019. I was not in a sorority. I was in a fraternity. It was a co-ed fraternity. It was like a business fraternity, Alpha Kappa Psi. And yeah, this was my first car. I think I put $5,000 down on this car. And it was what, 21,000? Oh, and the funny story about this car, I crashed it a week after buying it. So I bought the car, 5,000 down. I think the interest was like 3.2%. The monthly payment was $311. I paid it off back in April of 2024. And then I crashed it into our garage because for some reason I put my foot on the pedal versus my foot on the brake as I was pulling up, and I ran into the garage. And so it cost another $1,900 to replace the car. So whatever discount we negotiated, we being me and my dad, it ended up just being paid back. So that's that's what you had. But yeah, that was a fun time. All right, here's another photo. So this was with my boy David. Me and David we're not as close anymore, but we were really close. We were doing this event and we dressed up, and this was during COVID, and we put on the suit and tie and stuff. And David is one of my best friends, and I think last time we talked was a couple months ago, but he's been super busy as well. So this was back in 2020, and yeah, shout out to David. David and I wanted to do a podcast, and we did a little bit of a podcast, and it was a little bit more of a comedic podcast, although none of us were really that funny, and I didn't understand social media and content, so the videos we were putting out really weren't going anywhere. But the fact that we went through that content journey together, I thought was super important, because without that journey, I don't think we would have been, or I wouldn't have been where I was today. But that was super fun as well. Lance says, I'm an AK Psi Amit. I love it. I was an AK Psi as well. So it was fun. You know what's actually funny about AK Psi? By the way, SoFi is making a move after hours. So Tanner is safe for now. Look at that, 30.35. Our chapter at Rutgers at AK Psi got caught drinking at the end of 2020 in a party. And apparently, based on some university bylaws, you're not allowed to drink, which yeah, every university says you're not allowed to drink at these frat parties, but obviously everyone drinks. We ended up getting caught somehow at the year I graduated, so I didn't care too much. But we got banned for 7 years. And so the chapter is just opening up again on Rutgers, but they banned the freaking frat for 7 years. It was 6 or 7 years, something like that. But after I graduated, there was no connection to the fraternity because the fraternity was gone. Which was crazy, bro. Really, they're gonna ban someone for drinking at a freaking party? Like every other fraternity doesn't drink at parties, but yeah, that was stupid. But that's what we had. It was 6 or 7. It really was. I can't remember exactly, but I remember getting the email in the summer of 2020, and I was just oh, the fraternity's done. There's no connection to after years, people are not going to care that much about this, and so they nuked the fraternity. But it is what it is. Here's another picture. Again, my assistant, she put all the pictures together. I didn't know she would pick me with all the opposite genders in these photos, but it is what it is. So that's what you got. You got another fun photo right there. All right, some of the debate stuff. This was me, semifinalist at the Georgia Invitational for Lincoln Douglas. So your boy had a nice little trophy right there. And then this was me, top speaker at the NDCA championship as well. This was ironically also in Georgia. No, this was in Florida. So those are some of the debate pictures of the past and some of the wins as a debater. And those are most of the photos. I mean, we have a couple more right here. This is me again making a mess. I should have shown this when Steve was on. I don't know why I don't know why I kept making a mess in the house. Yeah, I guess that's what babies do. But I made a mess and all those cookies fell. And again, I was trying to clean it up. My mom was like, "We're just gonna take a picture of this." Tanner says, Amit said, lots of pics of the girls, please. Only one photo of David. I didn't say that, but I gave her access to all my photos, and she just decided to pick the ones that she thought you guys would like. So, Maybe she's trying to combat some narratives that exist on this channel. Who knows? Who knows? But she did what she had to do. Tess says, why do you look different collecting awards to slang with the baddies? Don't look like the same person. Well, in high school, dude, I mean, a lot of this is high school to college. So, you know, high school was just high school. And then as you move on, you get somewhat better at navigating how you look. And, you know, it didn't really change too much in regards to how I dress. But nonetheless, there's another picture with two of those friends who are girls that were some of my good friends. This was Halloween 2019. Halloween 2019. I think I was the Joker. I think that's what I was going for. And yeah, these were also some really good friends back in the college days. So it was fun stuff. So these actually were some of my really good best friends. And although we don't keep in contact as much anymore, you know, during the time, college was a good one. All right, here's the last photo. Here's the last photo. This one is ridiculous, bro. This is me in 6th grade. This shit is ridiculous. I don't know how that guy did what he did in life, but dude, someone is gonna crop that and turn it into a meme. This was ironically the guy's name of this picture is Benny. So shout out to Benny, and then the girl is Victoria. We were at her house after school. I remember this was 2010. She had just gotten a Mac and she had photo booth. I don't know where I got these glasses from. I mean, it's like a mushroom haircut, no beard, facial hair, but yeah, that was me in 6th grade. So I tried to find the pictures of me performing Billie Jean at the town show. I couldn't find them. I was going to show you guys that, but your boy did perform a Michael Jackson imitation. I won 1st place, but I just couldn't find those. So yeah, your boy is how I developed over the course of 28 years. That picture's kind of crazy because I actually remember this day fully. Like I remember going to her house, being on photo booth, you know, just like messing around, watching TV. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy evolution. And then this picture, you know, wanting to get close to the city, and now I live very close to this exact place, which is so cool to kind of come from. I mean, dude, this picture, I was broke. In this picture, I was down $25,000 on Purple Biotech, PPBT. And, you know, I was acting like I was cool in the picture. I was dead broke. I was down. I mean, I had my consulting clients, which was paying the bills, but like, outside of that, I was barely making the $311 car payment on the Honda Civic. Like every month when it took the money out of it usually was an overdraft when I took the money out of the account. And that's why that's honestly one of the reasons I got excited about SoFi, because in 2022, when I heard no overdrafts, I was getting killed with these stupid overdraft fees by Bank of America. And I was like, dude, like I might need another day to make the payment, but like, just don't charge me $18. Like how, like you guys can't wait a day? Is it that serious? And so, you know, that's initially what got me interested even in the neobanking category. But I was broke in that picture. I was dead broke. And yeah, as Melanie says, I was looking towards the future. I was looking towards the future there. So there you go. Full circle to taking your yacht across that. Yeah, exactly. That area is probably where the ferry goes, aka my yacht. And so very, very full circle. Very full circle. All right, so that's all the pictures. Let's get into the giveaways. We'll do this again. We'll do this probably like New Year's or Christmas. Well, this is kind of fun. We can just get old pictures from the past and show you guys a ton of stuff. Again, shout out to my assistant. Deeply, deeply appreciate the curation of photos that she brought up to show everybody. I mean, I didn't know exactly what picture she would take. I didn't give her any agenda. I just gave her access to all my accounts, and I said, hey, find some pictures you think people will like. And you know, there happened to be a trend in the picture. Maybe there was just, you know, an overwhelming amount of pictures that couldn't be denied. So as a result, that's why they showed up. It was not Sora. It's not AI. It's not Gemini. It's not my sister. Assistant was his mom. No, it wasn't. Assistant wasn't my mom. Dude, my mom bought some SoFi today as well. She called me. She's like, I bought some SoFi. I was like, all right, Mom. Tanner's either going to make us rich or we're going to lose our money. We're going to see. We're going to see. All right, cool. I think this only helped the allegations. Probably only helped the allegations. All right, so this is what we're going to do for the giveaways. Wow, Samantha just said happy birthday. There's actually a different Samantha. There's actually two. If you read the Duolingo article, there's one Samantha, and then there's a different Samantha. This Samantha is not the Duolingo Samantha, but she's another Samantha. I love that name so much, bro. Samantha. Like that, it is one of my favorites. So two names I love for a girl. I don't know why. I just love it. Samantha and then Bella. Those two names, like I've just always loved those names. Samantha and Isabella and Samantha. I just always loved those names for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, shout out to Sam if you're watching. Sam is a close friend from high school as well. She actually was on the stream back in 2022, for those that remember. She showed up on a couple of streams just to talk philosophy and stuff. Okay, cool. So this is what we're gonna do. Bro loves Twilight. Yeah, exactly. All right, so there's gonna be 10 questions, $100 each, and we're gonna do the giveaway. Now, here's the thing. So two things. Number one, I have a new email that everyone can write down. It is amitcookrage@gmail.com. So for those that have been trying to get in touch for whatever reason you're trying to get in touch, Twitter DMs is really tough because it's just hard to break through the noise on Twitter. And then sending a message on, I don't know, like there's a bunch of different, like to my other emails or something, it just gets kind of crowded. So for anyone who actually wants to get in contact or say something, I will try to check this email every day, try to respond to everyone. It is amitcookrage@gmail.com. If you are a winner today, please send it to this email. This is the email to screenshot your answer and your YouTube account profile. And then I will send you a $100 Amazon gift card. So we're going to do a $100 Amazon. PayPal, Venmo gets a little bit too dicey because people are across the world. So we're just going to do $100 Amazon. And if you really don't want the Amazon, let me know and we can just do like pure cash. But we'll do Amazon and we'll give those away. So that is the email. Yes, bullish Amazon. We need to help. If they're cutting all these workers, we need to make sure it's not a demand issue and help some of the earnings that we got. Okay, so I don't have all my questions. I tried to think of as many questions as I can. These questions, there might be a mix of stock market stuff, might be a mix of just stuff on the channel. I tried to do questions that were hard enough where not everyone can immediately spam the answer at the same time, because I know people are going to say, well, I was first. And like, I have one iPad, okay? This iPad is what I'm using. Whoever pops in first on my iPad is what I'm going to see. Sometimes you might be first on your internet. I really can't do anything about it. I am sorry. Hopefully we can just do more and more giveaways in the future, but every single chat I see, and it's pretty quick. I mean, this is not StreamYard that has a delay. This is pretty quick. So whoever I see first, that's going to be the one that we give the giveaway to. All right, cool. Here we go. First question. First one to type it. And again, please send me the information by tonight. I will try to get you the Amazon gift cards by tomorrow. So please send it by tonight. All right, here we go. This one should be relatively easy, but maybe not the easiest for everybody. Okay. What was, you don't have to spell it perfectly, but if the intent of your spelling is good enough, then that's the case. Okay, so I'll let you know if there's some answers where you have to spell it perfectly. This one is, I mean, I'll pretty much understand if you're getting the gist of the answer, even if you don't spell it correctly. What was the Pokemon character that I got gifted a physical thick version of? What was the Pokemon character that I got gifted a physical thick version of? Thick, T-I-T-H-I-C. T-H-I-C is what I mean by thick. Awesome, K-H-M-E-R. You got it. Charizard. Awesome, K-H-M-E-R. You got it. Charizard is the answer. Awesome, K-H-M-E-R. Charizard is indeed the answer. There you go. That was pretty easy. If you're not part of the channel, you probably missed it, but Ray said, I don't know. Shout out to Ray who got me the thick Charizard. It's over there in the corner. Wait, let me get it right here. There it is. This is what I'm talking about. There you go. The thick Charizard. So shout out to Ray. Awesome, K-H-E-R. There you go. You are the winner. That's what we got. All right, second one. This one goes back to kind of the OG days because I don't talk about it too much. I'm looking for 2 words, okay? 2 words on this. You can put them in whatever order, but I'm looking for 2 words. 2 words. It is a type of a product. It's not, I'll just give you a hint. It's not a color. Okay. It's not a color. Okay. That's the hint. What is the type of Gatorade I love to drink? 2 words. What is the type of Gatorade I love to drink? What is the type of great Gatorade I love to drink? Who said mayo Gatorade? What are we talking about? Mayo Gatorade. 2 colors, or sorry, two words. No one's got it yet. No one's got it yet. 2 words. Up. DLLM. Let me make sure you got it. You got it. DLLM 1, 2, 3. 0 calorie. 0 calorie. 0 calorie is the answer. I like the blue one a lot, but I didn't want to make it that specific to like the point of the flavor because that would be hard to guess. But 0 calorie, if you've been watching for a while, I usually only drink 0 calorie Gatorade because it tastes like regular Gatorade, but it's 0 calories. So DLLM 1, 2, 3. You are the winner. And I don't see anyone who put 0 before you. And those were the exact 2 words, 0 calorie. That's what I was looking like. Even if you put Gatorade 0, like you gotta say 0 what? So 0 calorie. That is what we got. 0 calorie mocktail. Your questions are gay. All right, that's what we got. That is what we got right there. All right, cool. So those were the first 2 questions. Again, please make sure to message me and we'll try to get some of that out there. All right, next question. Okay, so pulling up something real quick to see. This is actually a good one, I think. This is actually recent too. It's actually recent. Okay, so let's do, yeah. Okay, so there's 3 responses to this. You got to get all 3 to be right. Okay, you got to get all 3 to be right. This is giving my Twitter audience, anyone who follows on X, a little bit of an edge here. Okay, so it's got to be 3, preferably separated by a comma. It's okay if it's not, but 3 in one answer. What are the 3 tickers for the stocks that I have done an Equity Edge episode on X Spaces? What are the 3 tickers for the stocks that I've done an Equity Edge episode on for X Spaces? 3 tickers. It's not Palantir, Hood, and Grab. You guys thought it was going to be that easy? Palantir, Hood, and Grab. I got to see all 3 together. All 3 together. Equity Edge. See, Davis, you don't know about it because you don't pay attention on Twitter. That's your problem. This guy wants to say happy birthday, post all these pictures of me. He doesn't even listen to my show. Arrow Floyd. I think you got it. Arrow Floyd. It's AMKR, GXO, and ENS. Did anyone have it before you? I really don't think anyone did. Nope, it's you. Arrow Floyd, AMKR, GXO, and ENS. Yep, there you go. All right, Arrow Floyd, please message me, AERO Floyd. You are the winner of the 3rd giveaway. Okay, boom. Yeah, those are indeed tickers. AMKR, ENS, and GXO are 3 tickers. They're not the most well-known tickers, but nonetheless, they are still tickers. All right, so that's what we got. Next question. Next question. And again, guys, for some of you that have it on your screen first, I mean, this is the best way I have of doing a giveaway right now. The problem is there's thousands of you. So if we use some third-party platform, it's just not the easiest to get everyone to engage. And so YouTube is the easiest way of it. But we'll try to do as many giveaways as we can to try to set this up. Okay, next question. Next question. We did 3 of them, right? Okay, so we got 3 of them in. Next question. Okay, so let's do this one. I asked this question before, but I feel like it's such a good one because it goes back to like the OG days of the channel. And okay, so I'm going to ask the question again. It will be an advantage for some of you that have heard the question before, a disadvantage for those that haven't. But if you've been part of the streams for a while, you're definitely only going to know this if you've been listening. And this was a hard question last time. So I think and no, it's not blue wall. It's not what's the color of my background from the old videos. How do I word it? It's, okay, I think I got it. Okay, cool. Got it. All right. So this is actually pretty simple for those that have been keeping up for a while. Might be a little harder for others. So this is for the OGs. All right. What was the stock that Chris Patel went long on in the healthcare sector that Gary Black hated? What was the stock that Chris Patel went long on in the healthcare sector that Gary Black hated? This was back in 2023. This was back in 2023. What was the stock Chris Patel went long on that Gary Black, he's the guy who's like always bearish Tesla, hated? Chris Patel called him an idiot on the stream the day that his bear thesis came out. And it is in the healthcare sector. Wow, no one has it yet. No one freaking has. It's been almost, oh, I think someone got it. I think someone got it, and I recognize their name, so they probably were there in the early days. Let me just confirm. You got it. It's the guy. It's not UNH. That was 2 years ago. UNH is now. Like Chris likes it. All right, I think you got it. Let me fully make sure. Yeah, okay, James Velez. It was Weight Watchers. Chris went long the day it came out, or not the day it came out, but like the day Gary Black's bear thesis came out. James Velez, you are the winner. And the answer was Weight Watchers. I think, James, I recognize you've been listening for a long time on the show. This was back in the Finance Junkie days. That's when Chris, Vitaly, Carlos, and I did a podcast. Yeah, this was kind of hard for a lot of people, but James Velez, you got it. Where's Weight Watchers today? Weight Watchers stock. Okay, they definitely did a reverse split. Did they? I feel like they did a reverse split. 32.97. It's actually up 22% this year. And so that one is green. James Velez, you got it. So please email me and let me know what you got. All right, cool. There you go. Okay, cool. Next question for what we got. I remember Chris talking about Weight Watchers. Yeah, he was deep into that one back then. He made some good money on it. I mean, he did some spreads on it, made some money, and then he kind of moved on. Okay, here's I don't know if this is the best one. Amcor's down 4%. Yeah, I mean, they're having their call right now, so they could be saying something that's causing the stock to drop. Look, the earnings were really good. So the stock, I mean, I'm less confirmed with the stock. Stock was up at 34.89 at one point. Now it's down at 31. I mean, it's been oscillating between 30 and 34 basically for the past 2 months now. So the CEO is retiring. That's always a reason why stocks tend to take a little bit of a dip. But the earnings themselves, I mean, based on the results, I mean, it's the best quarter they've ever had in history, $2 billion in revenue. So I'll go through the earnings transcript tonight. We'll see what they have to say. But it looks like the broader trend should be intact for Amcor. Okay, cool. Next question. We did 4, right? We did 4, yeah? Okay. This is actually a good one. It's super specific, but it's also super easy. Okay, so this one's super specific, but also super easy. And anyone can guess and get the next one right. Like legit, you can take a guess and get it right. But if you remember me talking about this, which I've talked about several times, you will immediately know and you will type in the answer. But you could also guess. and probably be right. Okay. Arnie and I, back when Palantir was $9-10, had multiple conversations late at night, because he's in Italy, I'm in Jersey, about what life would be like if Palantir was not $9 or $10. And we would stay up, for him till 4 a.m., for me till like 12 a.m., just talking about like sticking to the plan and the mission and how we would analyze the company, all this stuff. And, our hopes and dreams of one day when the world recognizes what's going on with Palantir. Here's the question. What was the video platform we used to talk late at night during those years? What was the video platform we used to talk late at night during those years? I've said this multiple times. KD5442, you got it. Zoom. This is what I'm saying. This was easy, right? It's like Zoom. It's like, what else? It's a freaking Zoom. That's what we use. So I don't know, KD, if you've heard me talk about us, I would always say we had these Zoom calls late at night, or if you just get Zoom, but nonetheless, you're right. KD5442, Zoom is correct. That is the video platform we used. It was super specific, but also super like you could guess and still get it right to have these phone calls. And now Josh Brown is long Zoom. So we're going to see on their earnings what they put up. Zoom was up 1% today, up 4% for the year. Dude, whoever said Skype, we've been living under a rock. Is Skype even allowed? Or even like Microsoft bought them for like $8 billion and then shut them down a while ago. Skype's an old one. Skype is an old one. Okay, cool. Next, what do we got? Okay, some of these guesses are kind of crazy. But yeah, it was not Skype. It was not Skype. Okay, next one. What do we got? Let's do this question. I think this should be a decent one. This should not be horrible. It should give an even chance to most people. I think I said this a while ago. Most people know this anyway. We should do a stock market one though. Yeah. Okay, we should do a stock market one. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me just make sure. Yeah, this one I actually wanted to do. This one will be a good one. Let me make sure I can pull it up right here. Let's pull this up right here. Okay, this is going to be a stock one. This is actually going to be an important one. It goes back a few years, but it does matter. Let's see if I can make sure this is confirmed. I just want to get the number exactly right so that I can pull this up. This was back in, I'll give you guys the year. This was back in 2022. Back in 2022. Okay, cool. So here you go. Here you go. All right, here it is. Okay, simple question. Anyone can find this, but this is also an important question, I think, in general. So there was a quarter for Palantir where there was a quarter for Palantir okay, there was a quarter for Palantir where Alex Karp banged the table because he was so upset about how the company was progressing. That was Q2 2022. What was Palantir's revenue growth? Q2 2022 year over year. What was their revenue growth? Q2 2022. What was Palantir's revenue growth that caused Karp to get mad enough to bang the table? Oh, Justin Hunter got it. Justin Hunter got it. Justin Hunter got it. 26%. 26%. There you go. Justin Hunter, you got it. Q2 2022 for Palantir. This is actually not a horrible quarter. It was just one of those quarters where Karp was so pissed off because the analysts didn't get it. They weren't profitable. Revenue growth was relatively decent, but still not enough to get the street to be excited. 26%. Tess says those 3 years went quick as hell. I mean, dude, now, we're talking about revenues of 50%. But yes, 26%. Justin Hunter, you got that right. Let me know. You can email me as well. Okay, we did 6 of them, right? We have 4 left. Yeah. Okay, we have 4 left. Cool. 4 left. It was 25.8. It was 26, but I'm looking at the website right now. It was 26. So I'm going by what Palantir said. 26% year over year. And that was the revenue that they had. All right. Let's do another stock question. Let's do another stock one. I think this will be fun. Let's go to. I mean, this one actually, I think this is a decent one. This should be pretty decent. Let me confirm the numbers right here. Let's pull this up. Okay, so let's do this one. I mean, I feel like this one's... Oh, yeah, well, this one's pretty simple. This one's pretty simple. I mean, this is actually really simple. Okay, cool. Here we go. This should be super easy, even if you just guess on it. But I do think this one's not going to be that hard. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. How many times did the Fed cut in 2024? How many times did the Fed cut in 2024? How many times did the Fed... Oh, I got it. Cheesehead. Cheesehead, you are the winner. On my screen, the answer is 3. Cheesehead, you are number 3. The amount of you guys spamming Grindr thinking that that's going to be an answer is incredible. But Cheesehead, you are the first one to get it. Number 3 is the answer. Number 3. 3 Fed cuts. That was really easy. That was an easy one. But that should have given everyone a decent chance. If you somewhat paid attention last year about just like Fed policy, then 2024, 3 Fed cuts. All right. Let's do a juicy one now. Let's do a juicy one. Oh, we got to get through all the super chats too. Holy, okay, we still got some work to do before we get out of here. Okay, let's do a juicy one. I was thinking of these throughout the entire day. I didn't get to a bunch of them. I was thinking of a few that I had, but I'm not sure if those are the best ones. Let's do more questions about the dentist. Let's do actually this one is not horrible. This should be another one for the channel in general. High School Musical is too easy, bro. If I said my favorite movie, which is not High School Musical, okay, it's Inception, but HSM is up there, top 5. Also, I was watching Steve doing this S-tier movie ranking. Dude, that guy does not know how to rank movies. He was like, I told him I could never do this with him because like he doesn't understand movies as well, but he tried. He tried to rank them the best he could. Just feel like he needs to watch some more movies to really have an opinion on this stuff. Okay, so let's do... Okay, Dark Knight's top 5. I don't know if it beats the Inception. Inception. I don't know if it beats Inception, but Dark Knight is still up there for me. Well, this is actually not too bad. It's an OG one. It's an OG. Okay, this is not juicy. This is just an OG one. We'll leave 2 juicy ones for the end. This is an OG one. All right, you guys ready? What was the name of the battery company that Carlos and Vitali were big fans of? What was the name of the battery company, ticker or the name itself, that Carlos and Vitali were big fans of? You guys are really saying Duracell, bro? No, it's not Duracell. Mikael Carlson got it. Enovix. It was Enovix, ENVX. We talked about that stock for a long time on Finance Junkies. I mean, these guys really did love that stock. And it's had a pretty good couple years. But TJ Rogers was one of the main influences for why they liked it. Mikael Carlson, 1531. You are the winner, sir. Please make sure to email me, and we will get you the Amazon gift card. Enphase is not really a battery company. Enphase is more microinverters, but yes, they also did like Enphase a lot. This giveaway is rigged. How is it rigged, bro? How is it? I gave Mikael the questions beforehand. Although, you should be skeptical because given what's going on with the NBA, you should be skeptical of what's going on. Okay, last two. Last two should be juicy. Last two should be relatively juicy. Let's see what we can do. He's going to sell your personal data. I'm trying to think of just the channel and the inside jokes on the channel over the past couple of years. And I'm trying to think what would be something that if you've been watching for a while, you'd probably know. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good. All right, here we go. This is a good one. Here we go. Guys ready? I used to wear a black hat. I wore it until that hat literally was falling apart. What was the name of the company on that hat? What was the name of the company on that hat? It's not Palantir. Someone's going to get it. This is a hard one, but it's a good one. This is a hard one, but it's not SoFi. It's not Nike. It's not Lakers. You had to watch back in 22, 23 to really, and I wore this hat a million times. So if you watch those videos, you saw this hat like every day. No one's got it yet. No one's got it. Oh, I love this. This is such a good question. Someone's going to get it eventually. Someone's going to get it. Dude, this is great. No one's got it. It's not Rutgers. It's not the Suns. It's not a sports team. I literally said, what's the name of the company that was on the hat? Dude, none of you guys got it. This is a good one. Does no one get this one? Does this one always stay a mystery? Okay, I'll give you guys another hint. The company is not public anymore. They got delisted. Unfortunately. Does that ring a bell? Does that ring a bell? They got delisted. Okay, now no one should be saying Palantir or anything like that, because Calvin Klein got delisted? Did they? It's not Calvin Klein. Dude, no one got it. No, Calvin Klein is owned by PVH. Damn, no one got it. All right, our boy, well, Matt, you got it, but you spelled it wrong. But I feel like I should still give it to you because I know what you're trying to say. I know what Matt's trying to say. Matt, you got it, but you spelled it wrong. But I know what you're trying to say. I think we just give it to Matt. He's the only one that spelled it right. Dude, none of you guys are still spelling it right. All right, did we give that to Matt? This one was a hard one, but I think we give it to Matt. I think we give it to Matt. I think we give it to him. Matt was the only one who got it first. Okay, we're going to give it to Matt, and we're going to give it to the next person I see who spelled it correctly. I'm not going to say it yet. Let me scroll through. Matt got it. He messed up one letter. but there's got to be someone underneath him who got it correct. The first person who I see under Matt that actually got it. Oh, dude, the name just disappeared. You guys are typing so fast now. Now everyone has, it's Wejo. It's Wejo. W-E-J-O. Okay, I'm just going to give that to Matt. Matt got it. Matt typed W-E-G-O, but we all knew what Matt definitely knows this company because that was a Palantir SPAC. That's why I had their hat. And unfortunately, these guys got unlisted from the stock exchange. But all right, Matt, we gave it to you. See, this is a good question. Dude, none of you guys knew this question. Wejo, you had to be watching intently back then. Maybe we'll do another question to make up for that one. But Matt, for sure, I'll make sure you get a gift card as well. And there you go. The answer was Wejo. They gave me a hat because I went to one of their events. They were a Palantir SPAC. And then, they were just one of those SPACs that was not meant to go public. And unfortunately, they ended up, getting hit. A lot of people forgot about them, but Wejo, I actually interviewed their CEO a while ago. But Wejo was the company. Okay, cool. My gift can be gifting it to someone. I'll think of a question. All right, Matt, if you got one, message me on WhatsApp if you have a good question. And that was a good one, but maybe that was too hard, but it still wasn't too bad, I think. Okay, cool. Let's do another one. So let's do SoFi 3047. Are we really moving after hours on SoFi? Dude, I like that it's pumping. I'm also a little scared that maybe it's making too much of a run before earnings. But then again, earnings are tomorrow. If this one's going to explode, then maybe it starts right now. Look at that. SoFi, S&P also still moving after hours as well. Admit you're halfway to 56. Exactly. Halfway to freaking 56. Okay. Let's do. Oh, this is a good one. Matt, thank you. This is great. This one's not too hard either. Oh, shout out to Matt Money. This is a good one. All right, here we go. Very simple. I'm looking for a word on this that's specific. There could be multiple ways to answer this question, but I'm looking on a word that's very specific. It shouldn't be so specific that it's hard to guess. It should be a very easy word, okay? The time is now gay. Oh, my goodness. All right, what kind of store did my dad own growing up? Very simple answer to this. Okay, Cheesehead, you got it, but I got to give it to someone else because you've already won a giveaway. Die-Sure 86, you got it. D-I-E Sure 86, you got it. Liquor store, that is correct. Liquor store. Davis says hotel. Davis, that's why you're racist. Okay, no, it's not a hotel. Okay, we're not like every Patel that's out there. Liquor store is the answer. Die-Sure 86. Cheesehead, you were 2 for 2, bro, but you got to spread a little bit of love to some of the other people. So Die-Sure 86, you got it. Liquor store is the answer. It's kind of crazy because I don't know how to drink. But my dad owned a liquor store. I literally walked past the liquor and the beer and the whiskey every day because I was bored when I would come back from, this was middle school, and I had to wait till my mom would pick me up. So I'd be there for legit 2 hours every day, just sitting there. And then honestly, part of my yapping capabilities, I think, came from me walking through the aisles of the liquor store and just like imagining different scenarios. And I would like paint these stories in my head, and because I needed to entertain myself because there was like, I had no smartphone or anything, and I'd just be bored. And I'd legit just like walk through and think about ideas. Maybe that was the beginning of my imagination and like the ability to keep talking. But it was a liquor store. It was in front of Jack Daniels and Jaeger and freaking Heineken, all of that stuff. I would sometimes stock the liquor, the beers in the back and go to the fridge and like read, like I would, So I've been around alcohol for so long, but I suck at drinking it. He sold the store in 2011, so he didn't give me a discount for my party because he sold it back in 2011. You know, quite frankly, just to be honest, the business was not that successful. We had some bad loans on the business. My dad was a bit indecisive. We could have got double the offer if he had sold 5 years earlier, but then the recession happened, and so he had to take a crappy offer. So he was just happy to get rid of it, but we really didn't make a lot of money off the sale of that liquor store. And the hours were grueling because he would leave at like 7 a.m., be back at 11 p.m. every night. So I didn't see my dad the whole day, you know? So definitely not. But again, it's like, you know, immigrants, American dream. You got to put food on the table. You got to do whatever you can do. And that was his way of, serving the family. But yeah, it wasn't exactly the best business. Also, my grandpa used to run it. My grandpa got shot once because someone came and asked for the money. And my grandpa, who doesn't speak English, he was like, screw you, I'm not giving you the money. And the dude was like, all right, I'm just going to shoot you and take the money. So it's like, you know, it's like, it's not the best business in the world to be part of. Thankfully, grandpa survived after that. But yeah, definitely a bit more risky. Okay, so last question. Again, please make sure to email. It is amitcookrage@gmail.com. That is the email for all the winners. Someone actually won $30,000 on the lottery ticket that my dad sold back in like 2009 or 2010. And I think the liquor store that sells it gets like a very small percentage of that. So I think he got like $700 for selling the $30,000 ticket. But I do remember that day because like the store had sold, you know, a ticket that actually gave someone 30 grand. Okay, last question. That was a great question by Matt. Matt, thank you for that. That was awesome. That was a great question by Matt. Okay, so last one. Are you selling SoFi tomorrow or after the rate cut? I want to see the quarter, dude. I want to see it. I think if it's a good quarter, I'm not interested in selling. If it's a crappy quarter, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a crappy quarter, though. So, look, I'm holding on. I mean, I think next year SoFi has not had a massive move yet. It's had a good move, but it's not been one of those crazy moves. And I think next year is setting up really productive for it. Look, if they get 1 million members, I don't care if the stock goes down. That just means they're able to scale in such a way that the next quarter is going to be 1 million. The next quarter after that's going to be 1.1 million. So like, I'm not buying the shares for a flip. I really do think they're going to have a good quarter. And if they don't, as long as the results are good, I don't mind buying more. I mean, it's not easy to find good quality companies that can grow and that are benefiting from rate cuts and just, you know, business regulation going down. So I'll be live tomorrow and we're going to see what we get for SoFi. All right. Last question. Last question. What do we got? Let's ask a question about the photos that you showed. You know, I would ask how many girls did you see in the photo, but quite frankly, there's too many to count. So I mean, like, that's not a good question. You know, it's just like, it is what it is. Don't need to worry too much about those questions. Ask us when your birthday is. That's a good one. Let's do. Dude, it's so bad because it's like this helped nothing. All of you guys are like, oh, that's the gay best friends. Like, mind you, okay, those girls definitely know I'm not gay. Okay, I'm not gonna say how. I'll let everyone else come to that conclusion, but it didn't help my case, given everyone else said I'm just the gay best friend. Let's do. Man, what's like this theme I was thinking about in the morning? I don't know if it's the best theme though to end it off. Davis says, but I know you are gay firsthand. First of all, Davis, the freaking pictures Davis is first of all, Davis should not be saying I'm getting this gay ass caption that you posted today, even though you ignore me on all of our dates. I mean, he's talking about gay. Goodness gracious, bro. The reason I ignore you is because you're not interesting. Whenever we sit together, you start yapping about Zeta. You think that's interesting? No, it's not freaking interesting. Like, talk about something better. Keep me entertained, bro. Freaking Davis, bro. Freaking Davis. Okay, so think let's do. I think I asked this question before, but it's an old one. Amcor did their earnings. Yes, I'll get an update on it. It's down 3.5%. It's basically back to where it was on Friday, $32. I'll go through their earnings and see what. I bet you it's their gross margins probably were not as good as the street expected, and because the top line revenue growth is phenomenal. I mean, that's the best quarter they've ever had. EPS was also better than expected. I bet you the gross margins were a little bit lower, and that's probably why the stock's down 2%. But that's not the worst reason, given, the margin expansion is the sort of bull case for them in the first place. Okay, let's do there's some really easy ones, but I kind of want to end it off on something that's not as easy. Joseph Carlson should be an answer. Yeah, Amcor CEO is retiring as well. I mean, if they're going to give it a 2% hit off the CEO retiring, I mean, like that's usually stocks drop like 10% when the CEO leaves. So that's actually not the worst. Okay. Let's do maybe let's do dude, there's a couple of these we could do. Who is Stephen Fiorillo's favorite creator? Joseph Carlson, exactly. Bro, I need to use the bathroom, hurry up. Okay. Dude, we got to do the super chats too. So let me do this and then we'll get to super chats. Let's do which tooth needed the root canal. I don't expect you guys to know the exact tooth that needed the root canal. If someone knew that, that'd be kind of scary. I'm like, how did you know? Like, are you actually my dentist? If you knew that, it's a little aggressive. This one's kind of basic, but I feel like this one's kind of basic. Damn, this one's kind of basic. I don't know if we should do that one. Okay, let's do let me just confirm this. It might not be. I think we can still do this. If we do it from, well, actually, I think we can do this. This is a good one. Okay, so all right, we'll do this. I think this is a pretty easy one. If you've been part of the channel, you've definitely heard me say it. Your answers have to be in okay, so there's 5 answers to this. Okay, let's do this one. We'll end it out on this. 5 answers. Everything should be in one comment. Okay, here we go. Very simple. Let me just write it down so I make sure. If it doesn't have to be the exact. You'll get what I mean when I say it, but I'll know if you're winning on this. Where were the 5 places we did a meetup at in 2025? Where were the 5 places we did a meetup at in 2025? In one answer, where were the 5 places we did a meetup at? Wow, someone got it quick, bro. Someone got it quick. Saunders Melody. That's not a horrible question either. I mean, the meetups have been a big part of the channel. Everyone's known about the meetups. Like, and I'm asking for 5 locations, so it definitely requires a little bit of work. It's not like you can just copy and paste it from somewhere. Michelle says not Houston. Yes, not Houston. Saunders Melody. You got that pretty quick, dude. You got that real quick. It's almost like you knew that answer beforehand. Are you Chauncey Billups' cousin or something? What's going on here? But Saunders Melody, you got it. Miami, New York, Boston, Toronto, and California. There you go. You wrote it before the question. Yeah, bro, that's a little sus. I'm just saying. Saunders Melody. Little sus right there. By the way, shout out to Zocold who's in the chat. This hoodie is literally from Zocold. Love you, brother. Thank you for being here. Zocold is an OG. He's been watching the channel for years, and he got me this hoodie back in Vegas in 2023. I still remember, and that's actually kind of one of the reasons I wanted to wear it today, because it was one of the hoodies I got on my birthday a long time. And I love this hoodie. It's like super. It's just like it's a comfortable hoodie, and it's like warm and all that stuff. So thank you, Zocold. Love you, man. Appreciate you. He was at the Miami meetup with his cousin, and him and his wife are awesome. His cousin and his wife are just amazing. Like, you guys are just a great, great family together. And it was super, super cool seeing everybody together at the same time. So awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right. That's what we got. Those are the giveaways. Please make sure to email me. I will get you guys the Amazon gift cards, hopefully by tomorrow night at the latest. And, yeah, again, I went on a bit of a long rant in the morning for the market open, but I am very, 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 very grateful to be in this position in life. I do not take it for granted. I want to make sure I just do my best to continue providing value. And, shout out to Steve and Matt and Roy and Tanner. I did not expect them to all get on just to say happy birthday. And Chris, they're really good friends. They are really, really good friends. And, you could tell they actually care about you as a human. More like, if I had a life problem that I need to talk, and I've had problems in life before that I need to legit call up one of these guys and ask their perspective on. I mean, they're there. There was some stuff a couple years ago. I really needed some good advice, and I talked to Steve, and just having a friend where you can he can, especially a friend that's a bit older, has been through some life experience, it can give you some perspectives. It really means a lot. So, these are not just people that I talk stocks by. I talk about everything with these guys, and it really means the world to have all of them here. So there you go. That's what we got. That's the giveaway. I hope you guys enjoyed the photo session. We'll do this again, probably like New Year's. I mean, Steve already booked me for New Year's, so he said I can't go anywhere. So on New Year's Eve, if you have nothing to do, I'll probably be live with Steve. And Steve has shown some photos of his past before. Maybe we can get Steve to show some more of his younger days, because Steve was a wild kid when he was in his 20s. You guys don't know the real Steve, bro. The real Steve was different. The real Steve. You should ask him, Steve, how are your 20s like? Let's see how much he avoids the question, because he was a wild young kid, and now he seems all relaxed and mature, and all that. That's because he had some fun when he was in his 20s and 30s. I think he settled down around 33, 34, but in his 20s he had a great time. So his mafia past, yeah. We'll do this again, and I'll tell my assistant going into New Year's Eve to go curate some more pictures. I'll see what she comes up with. I'll try to make sure that the pictures aren't dominated by one theme. I didn't expect her to pick all these pictures that showed what they showed today, but I really didn't have time to organize the pictures, so I'm happy that she did what she had to do, and you guys got to see the past life. Maybe we got to change the narrative a little bit. Maybe we added fuel to the flyer on the narrative. Who knows? But nonetheless, we got to share some stuff. All right, let me get out of here. Let me do some super chats. Thank you again for being here. You guys do not have to send the super chats. It really, really means a lot for everyone being here. But appreciate you all. And yeah, I'll be live on Tech Bros tonight with Tanner and Roy, and we'll talk more tech, and we'll keep going from there. Triple V, thank you for the $200 super chat. I was talking to you this morning. Deeply, deeply appreciate your friendship and your guidance over the past year as we've gotten to know each other, and just being supportive in the chat every day. It means a lot. So thank you, Triple V, for the $200 super chat, and thank you for being here. Parzival Zero, thank you for the $200 super chat. Happy birthday, man. Thank you for building this great community. It's a wonderful space to have where we can exchange market insights and celebrate the wins. Cheers. Parival, thank you for being here. I think you've just joined the channel over the past couple months, but it means a ton. And on a day like this, wow, SoFi 30.5 after hours, baby. Dude, hopefully we can keep the party going tomorrow on SoFi earnings. But yeah, on a day where you have big wins like we're seeing in the broader market, it definitely means a lot to do with the community. So thank you, Parvel, and thank you for being here. Angela, you gave a super chat in the morning, so you do not need to give another one, but thank you for being here. I deeply appreciate the second super chat. Amit, happy birthday. Been a great few years watching since Finance Junkies. I love it. We stopped that podcast back in the later half of 2023, honestly, all of us just got really busy. Like Vitaly had a bunch of different job commitments. He's a producer, so he's traveling all the time. Carlos had 2 kids. Can't really do a podcast all the time when you have kids. Chris obviously got busy with stuff in life, and then I got really busy with all the traveling. So it was really fun to do that every day. And I think we cultivated a really good community for all of us. And we're all still pretty good friends. We all still talk, but obviously we don't do the podcast anymore. It's just things have evolved, and I think the way things have evolved has created an even deeper community across all the new characters like Matt and Roy and Tanner and all these people that were making content back then, but not as much as they're making today. And now we're all here. So it's almost like Finance Junkies was like 4 guys getting together to talk stocks, and it was very special. But now throughout these streams, whether it's my stream or Chris's stream or Matt's stream or Tanner's stream or Roy's stream, everyone just hops on each other's streams and we talk stocks. So it's really cool how it's just turned into like the de facto thing that people do online. And that was really fun. Tess says, was it that long ago? I'm getting old. No, Tess, you are young. I will never say Tess is old, because last time I even implied that she might be getting older. I definitely got a mouthful. So no, Tess, you are incredibly young, and you will continue to just get younger. That's what's going to happen. Maybe quantum computing can make people younger, bro. Maybe. By the way, again, this is why Skrelly's quantum short is stupid, bro. The All In podcast just did a episode with a quantum physicist who got a Nobel Prize for his research. There's too many catalysts to short these stocks, even if you don't like their valuations. So, when you have media like that getting distributed, might not be the easiest short. Duns, thank you for the 11 super chat. Happy birthday, mate. Wish you a good health and a beautiful day. Thanks, Duns. Appreciate it. Thank you for your parents for letting us being able to troll you on the daily. Love you, man. No homo. Appreciate you, Duns. Thank you for being here. I thought the photos would clear up a little bit of the allegations, but I guess not. Thank you, Duns. Appreciate you being here. Sarthis, thank you for the $2 super chat. Happy birthday, man. Thank you for your content. Thank you for being here. Sam, what's up, man? Guess where Grab closed at? Yep, we closed at 612. Not too bad. Earnings coming up. Nice move from 540 last week. If you bought the dip anywhere below basically 580, it's been a pretty good return. We just got to get a really good earnings. We got to get a good earnings, and hopefully that can create more of a re-rating. Thank you, Sam, for being here. TJIS, thank you for becoming a channel member. Appreciate it. Helen, thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, Amit. Wish you the best. Appreciate you here with us through the ups and downs. Helen, thank you for being here every single day as well. Ups or downs, deeply appreciate you being here and being part of the channel. SC Austin, thank you for the $51 super chat. Amit, wishing you a happy birthday. Wishing many happy returns of the day. My wife and myself watching most days here in Austin. May you get to enjoy wealth, health, and the sweet, pleasant relationships of life. Thank you, SC, for being here. I really do appreciate it when couples or people with kids are watching the show. It means a lot just for that to be part of the family, to welcome me into your lives, into your cars, into your living rooms. So thank you for being here. Steve's in the chat. Steve says, happy birthday. Steve, I appreciate you, man. You didn't have to organize that group happy birthday wish, but it means a lot, Steve. Thank you for being here. And by the way, guys, again, Steve is crushing it. He's about to hit freaking 10,000 subscribers pretty soon. 8.9 thousand. For those that haven't subscribed, definitely make sure to give him a subscribe. Outside of all the fun stuff that he talks about on his streams, the market commentary is very, very good. So you can definitely check out Steve right there. Steve, again, appreciate you, buddy. You did not have to do that for me on a Monday afternoon, but it means a lot. TJIS, thank you for the gift of 10 memberships. Appreciate you for the gift of 10. Thank you for that. Brian K. NYC, thank you for the 101 super chat. A longtime lurker breaking my silence to wish you a very happy birthday. You've enriched me in a multitude of ways, and you're the only financial YouTuber I know who never exploits his audience. That sincerity makes you one of a kind. Keep being you, Amit. Brian, thank you for being here. I know a lot of people are just, as you say, lurkers. They don't really comment or do much, but they listen every day. And quite frankly, I'm like that for a lot of other content creators. I comment on like Steve's videos and Tanner's and but I don't really comment actively on like other stuff that I watch. And so, for the people that don't comment but still consume the content, I'm deeply grateful, and I know that hopefully the content is valuable, regardless of if you're in the chat or not. And like Triple V, he never checks the chat, even though he sends a super chat every other day. So I appreciate you watching and keeping up with the show every single day. Beans, thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, brother. Found you from the Dumb Money video. I've been watching daily ever since. You have made my friends a lot of money, and in return, I have shared what I've learned from you with my friends. They are doing very well. Cheers. I love it. I think a lot of this segue has been someone discovers content in the stock market space. They get into a stock or get into a way of thinking, and then they get their friends hooked on it. I mean, I've heard this story so many times from people, especially at the Miami meetup, where, one guy actually brought 3 other guys just because those 3 guys got into my content because that one guy was, really consuming it every day. And then they all started investing together, and it was awesome. And then they got to talk to Derek for like 2 hours and pick his brain about life and entrepreneurship. So yeah, really appreciate those that spread through the word of mouth. And shout out to Dumb Money, Chris Camillo, awesome guy. I actually recently, guys, I made an investment in a private startup. I just sent the money yesterday. By the way, that startup, bro, that startup is like exploding on the timeline. What I mean by that is like over the weekend they grew like 20x. It's kind of crazy. I got some of the updates today, and I was like, goodness gracious. So on November 6th, I should be able to announce what the startup is, and you guys can check it out. I think a lot of you guys will actually be interested in it. Some of you guys won't care, but it's in the finance space. Let's say that. It's in the finance space. But I asked Camillo before I should invest. I was like, yo, I sent him I was like, yo, would you invest in this? And he ended up passing on it, but he gave me some good ways to think about private market investing because he's done a lot of private market investments, and I ended up putting some money in. So we're going to see long-term how it plays out. It's not Stock App. It's not Derek's company. It's not a public round, unfortunately, yet. I think eventually it'll be public. The only reason I got access to this, I told you guys, it was someone I debated in high school. He knew me. We haven't talked for 10 years. He hit me up the other day because he's been keeping up with my content. And he's like, yo, do you want to invest? And I heard the pitch, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to have to invest. First of all, it's a good idea. Second of all, we haven't talked in 10 years. Like, there's no way you're going to become a billionaire without me. So if this thing ever gets to that level, I mean, who knows? Startups are really hard. I could probably lose all my money, but it's worth taking a shot. So I think if they do a public offering, then you'll have a lot more people that have the chance to invest. 3067 on SoFi. We hit 3070, folks. Someone's buying after hours. Someone is buying after hours. Looks like Tanner is going to survive, and he's not going to get shit from all of us if SoFi does well. Now, if SoFi doesn't do well, we still got to give Tanner shit for the hell of it, even though it's not his fault. But it is what it is. We got to give him some shit. But if they do well, we got to give him a lot of love because he deserves it. This guy's been preaching the SoFi thesis for so long. Abhijit, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you for saying happy birthday. Linda, thank you for the $50 super chat. It means a lot. Thank you for being here as well. And thank you for, it's not fiscal AI. It's not fiscal AI. Thank you for the super chat as well. This is a lot of people don't know about this. It's very underground, but it's just an old friend from high school. So that's why I invested. But who knows? I think they'll do well over time. We're going to see. Linda, thank you again for the $50 super chat. It means a lot. Thank you for being here. Changi, thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday. Thanks for turning the boring bits of investing into something that I actually look forward to watching. Yeah, I try to make investing as non-boring as possible. I think that's kind of the reason people were attracted to the channel in the first place, just the deep dives and the energy we bring every day to the stream. And so, yeah, I appreciate it. Some people think it's cringe when you react like, oh, the stock's down 10% and you're freaking out. I know there's a subset of people that think it's cringe when you give a reaction like that and you're too animated, but I also think the masses need that animation to be excited. I need that animation to be excited. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, a stock goes up, stock goes down. What's the point of it, So, yeah, I do try to have as much energy as we possibly can. Gannicus, thank you for the $2 super chat. Happy birthday, mate. Love the daily shows. Appreciate you. And thank you for being here. Sumit, thank you for the 101 super chat. Happy birthday. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change, especially the mispronunciations. Bro, I thought womb was womp. I don't know what to tell you, but I appreciate the super chat. And thank you for being here. And thank you for the 101. Living on another plane. Thank you for the super chat. $10. Happy birthday, man. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for engaging with me on X, which led me to your YouTube channel. Your market insight has been very helpful. Appreciate you as well. Thank you for being here. And whether it's X or YouTube, I appreciate you keeping up with the content regardless, which means a ton. Aerofloyd says, if it weren't for you, I would have panic sold. Dude, back in April, I mean, I had to convince myself to not panic sell either, right? You know, so it was just one of those things where we stayed the course in April, and Steve, did a great job as well. I think calming a lot of us, that like this whole community. Chris was buying the hell out of the dip, and Chris can get very bearish at moments, right? Even Chris was like, no, this is stupid. Like this is so I think all of us collectively kind of came to the conclusion that this is a buy. And that's why we're here. Mila, thank you for the $20 super chat for the milk and cookies with the milkman. Happy birthday, Amit. Mila, thank you. Thank you for being here. It was great seeing you in Miami as well. For those that don't know, Mila teaches language. So, for all the shit I give language learning because of freaking Duolingo. I appreciate you, Mila, so much. And thank you for being here. Hopefully we'll see you at another meetup. Duolingo down another 1% on the day. All right. Duolingo's going to have to put up a good earnings. They're going to have to put up a good earnings to get rid of that narrative. Thank you for being here. Ron G, thanks for the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, man. Thanks for all that you do for us. Ron G, thank you for being here. And thank you for the super chat. Alex, thank you for the super chat. I just wonder if we bulls may be underestimating how much sales and marketing and product design spend may knock off EPS bullish, though. I think you're talking about SoFi. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe marketing is a bit more aggressive this quarter, and that's how they get to that million member number that Tanner's been talking about. And maybe that could hurt EPS. I wonder if the trade-off of hurting EPS with growth is going to matter that much to the street. If they can get growth without hurting EPS, that would be super bullish. But we'll find out tomorrow, 7 a.m., and we'll see what these numbers look like. Zubair, thank you for the $100 super chat. Happy birthday, Amit. Thank you for everything. Can't wait to see you in Houston. Yeah, you and Michelle both. I was supposed to do Houston for a meetup this year. We just didn't have a chance. And then Texas is so big, so it's hard to do Houston, Dallas, Austin. Which one do we do? So unfortunately, we weren't able to do Texas, but hopefully we end up doing it in 2026. Thank you again for the $100 super chat. Kwame, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy birthday, Mitt. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat. Lucky, thank you for becoming a channel member. Sergio Juice, thank you for the $10. Happy birthday, Amit. Thanks for the streams and the laughs. Sergio, thank you for being here. And thank you for laughing along with the jokes. Amit's dentist, once again, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hi there. I'm Dr. Dixie Dental Floss. Amit's dentist. The name says it all. I feel like this is just going to become a meme at this point, this dentist thing, just like the milkman for Steve in the chat, but I appreciate it, dentist. And actually, ironically, I'm seeing the dentist again tomorrow. So I'm going to have to leave the stream at like 10:50 because it's like a 30-minute drive. I have 11:30 appointment, but yeah, they're going to make sure everything's okay. So I guess I will be seeing Dr. Dentist tomorrow as well. Golden Puppy, thank you for becoming a channel member. Charlie, happy birthday, Amit. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Means a lot. C. Harris, thank you for the $2 super chat as well. Currently right now, happy birthday. Thank you for being here. Bag holder, thanks for the super chat and happy birthday. J-Mac, thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, bro. We need an AK Media clothing line. I don't think I'm ever going to come out with clothing or merch. I've just never really been a fan of it, but I do appreciate you being here. If we did have merch, there would be so many fun sayings to put on that merch that would make no sense to anybody else, but appreciate you and thank you for being part of the channel. Deuce, thank you for the $10 super chat. Amit, you and my girlfriend Brittany have the same birthday. Happy birthday. Can she get a shout out from you? Brittany, happy birthday. Thank you for letting your boyfriend watch the show on your birthday, and that means a lot. And if you watch it as well, deeply, deeply appreciate it. Again, for the couples that watch, it means a ton. There's another couple, Brittany and Eddie, who I got to meet back in September. They came over to the spot, and yeah, they were awesome as well. So, and they, when they told me their routine, and they told me that they literally like wake up and they watch the show together. It's like it's just so crazy that you're part of someone's life like that. But yeah, there's Brittany and Eddie. Shout out to them, OG Hood supporters, and very, very grateful for all of them being part of the show. Okay, we got like 10 left. Here we go. D-Pen, thank you for the 50 super chat. Happy birthday, man. Someone said it earlier, you cannot take a day off now that you have become a big part of our lives. Been with you since 9,000 subs. Looking forward to the UK meetup. Best wishes. Yeah, again, I also I hate taking days off, but taking Friday off and the backlash from that also showed me how much I don't want to take days off because I want to be consistent and be part of everyone's routine. So I just got to make sure I don't get sick. And look, could I have really pushed through on Friday? Maybe, but I want to deliver something of quality. And when you're just feeling bad, it's like, you don't want to just get up there and bullshit it. So yeah, that's why I thought it might make sense to take off. But I do agree. I mean, it really is a responsibility when there's that many people that care every day. And it's also a privilege to have that many people care. So it's like you have to balance the responsibility part of it along with your physical health, but also knowing that like the fact that people care that much, that's not something you take for granted by any sense of the imagination. And you try to deliver. And so we'll make sure to try to be here every day. Rye NY Fishing, thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday. Busy week, brother. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy week. Dude, I think Wednesday, tomorrow's GTC. So we're going to be live for GTC. That'll bleed into the market close, which I think starts at 1 p.m. And then Wednesday is just going to be a wild day. So yeah, we'll probably be live all day on Wednesday. Relatable Gains, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you kindly. Thank you for the kind super chat. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Mistro. Kindly, you've been so kind, literally for the past couple months with these super chats. It means a ton. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a ray of sunshine in the chat every day. So appreciate you, JJ. Thank you for the super chat. Driving, so to keep it short, happy birthday. See, this is why we need FSD. We need FSD so people can send super chats without having to worry about their drive. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate that, even if you're driving. And it means a ton. Cool as a cucumber. Thank you for the $100 super chat. Happy birthday, Mitt. Rest your voice. Yeah, I think we're going to have to rest my voice after these last 5. I'm going to be talking again in like 3 hours with Tanner and Roy. But appreciate you, man. Steve was on earlier in the show, and Steve organized that whole birthday meetup with everybody. So appreciate Steve, Tanner, Roy, all those guys, Chris, Matt, and very, very happy that all of them were here for today. B Plays, thanks for the $100 super chat. Happy birthday, Mitt. I've watched since May of 2023 and made a shit ton of money during that time. Thanks to you and the information that people bring in every day. Love it. That is the goal of the community. That is the goal of the chat. It's one of very few communities that actually we get to make money with at the same time of consuming and being part of the content every day. So it means a lot that everyone's here. KMS83, thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, Mitt. I've been watching your content for over a year now. I don't engage too much in the chat, but I watch you religiously. Keep doing the awesome things you do, bro. KSM, thank you again for being here and again being part of the chat. Rye, thanks for the super chat. Amit, why are you gay? I tried to help beat the allegations today. I only made it worse, but thank you for the super chat regardless. Webhead, thanks for the 20 super chat. Happy birthday, Mitt. I've been watching since the Daily Cowbell, and I've been hooked ever since. You've been a calming and informative voice. Keep up the great work. What you are doing is incredibly important. I actually have a video. You know that video that I was trying to show you guys? Oh, shit. Of course, my phone's on 1%. Do you guys remember? Let me see if I can pull it up. I wanted to show this, but I wasn't able to send this to myself. There was a video from the Daily Cowbell, which was a show I hosted with Justin O and Tom Nash, for those that remember. I couldn't find the exact clip of. You guys put in the chat if you remember the first episode. This was early 2022, so a lot of people might not remember it. But the first episode, they were testing me on if I should be the host. And back then, I was a much smaller YouTuber, so kind of going in line with the philosophy of taking advantage of the moment. I said, sure, I'll do it. Tom was like, hey, can you do the show? And I think their host got sick or something happened technically, and they were like, we need a host. And they're like, can you do it? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Some of you guys remember? Okay, so the way I ended the show that day was a certain sentence. And your boy wanted to make a joke. And well, I definitely made a joke. I have it. Okay. So is there any way I could send this? Oh, I know what I can do. I can actually, I want to show you the video, but I don't want to show it on my phone. I want to show it on Twitter. Let me see if I can put it. Oh, wait, no. Can I just put it right here? Can I just send it to myself? Can't I just iMessage myself? Yeah, I can just message myself. I feel like I should be able to pull it up from there. I found it basically. I didn't find the exact video, but I found me showing those friends that I showed you guys in the chat. Let's see if this goes through. the video. And a bunch of you guys remember. Yeah, the video was actually, okay, let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can pull this up. The video was pretty funny. I'll say that. But it was a while ago. Okay, let's see if this pulls up. Let me see. All right, so this is my first week. Okay, does this pull up? Let's see. No, it's not pulling up, bro. This is stupid. Why is this not? Oh, open with QuickTime Player. Okay, now it should pull up. This is QuickTime Player. Boom, we got it. Okay, cool. You guys should be able to hear it. Let me know if you can't hear it. But you guys see this? Yes. Okay, so these were the 3 girls I showed you guys. They were like some of my college best friends. And this was back in 2022. So they came over to the house. And, well, I showed them the video. And this is what happened. Let me know if you guys can't hear it. But you should be able to hear it. All right, so this is my first week hosting the Wait, there's no sound? You couldn't hear it? You couldn't hear it? Wait, there's no sound? Oh, shit, you couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear it. Damn. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. The only sound you were hearing initially was because my phone, my microphone wasn't muted, or my actual Mac wasn't muted. Why is the sound not playing, bro? This is the problem with stream. Oh, I didn't share the system audio. Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, that's it. Okay. All right, let's run it back. Let's run it back. Here we go. There we go. This should work now. This should work. All right, so this is my first week hosting this new debate show. Doing very well. This was the ending to the first episode I ever hosted. This is your raw reaction. You guys have never seen it before. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, ready? Starting now.
Well, even though SoftBank is soft, we hope that us 3 on the screen definitely made you hard this morning. Thank you guys for watching.
That's legit, right?
So Money Talks with your unofficial host, Amit. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see.
That was good, right?
They were like, how did that go?
That was good, right?
I feel like that guy's being gassed. It was funny, but it wasn't like gas.
No, Tom is laughing. Tom, that was funny, right, Tom?
He's dying. That's so funny.
He's dying. It was amazing.
Tom was like, yeah, after that one, we won't be seeing you again. He's like,
Yeah. It was good. That was not that bad, dude. That was pretty good. And so that was the thing I was talking about from so long ago of doing the show. And I think there's actually some quite frankly, I think there's some philosophical takeaways from that. Number one is, was the joke a little cringe and weird? Yes. But also it's a debate show at the time that was trying to make the stock market entertaining. And I think as a host, you needed a little bit of juice to get people excited. And so I remember the comments that day. That was the first time I was introduced to like 20,000 people at once, because the episodes were getting like 20,000 views a day. And honestly, bro, it was 95% give this guy a job, like make him the host. And it was 5%, this was too cringe. And I think what that taught me at the moment was just like, sometimes you got to go for it. Sometimes you got to make, you've got to make the joke. And the segue from SoftBank and soft, and let's say, yeah, it's a little bit of a raunchy joke, but the whole point is like, that's your personality. And you want that personality to kind of create a bit of excitement at its core. And so, that was really important, because that showed Tom and Justin, oh, this guy, like, if we don't go with him and we go with some boring host, it's not going to be the same. And so you kind of, sometimes you get an opportunity, you have that first impression, and you take that opportunity, you show the audience what you can do, and then it's up to life, and you let the chips fall where they do. But that show ended up having a good run. I think we did like 20, 30 episodes, and then eventually the show ended. But a lot of you guys, the reason I showed that clip as well, a lot of you guys found me through that show. Like, those were thousands of people like learning about who I am. Who is this Amit guy, right? Because my channel was growing, but it wasn't growing because it wasn't growing at the level it's growing at right now. So at that moment, you take every single opportunity. I remember, dude, I was still driving 60 miles back and forth, New Jersey. I had to leave the house at 2:30 every day, And one day Tom is like, bro, we need to do the show. We need you as the replacement. This was before I got the full-time thing. And by the way, I never got paid for any of this. I was just doing it because, I wanted the opportunity. And I delayed going to my consulting job by like an hour and made up some excuse. And I was just like, I had to blah, 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 just because I knew that opportunity and being there was way more important than whatever stupid consulting job I needed to do. I was like, that shit does not matter. This shit does. It's like those trade-offs of life. You look at it back and forth and you're just like, it's all part of the journey. I'm sure so many of you have had that opportunity where, you've had to make a decision. You've had to take an L because I didn't get paid for that hour. I was getting paid by the hour. I did not get paid for that hour because I was late. But the opportunity was more important. SoFi, wow, 30.85. Dude, someone's buying. I mean, maybe it's just low volume algos or someone's buying before earnings. By the way, Google 270 as well. Google not slowing down. And then you got SoFi continuing to move after hours. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for SoFi. We're going to see. All right, so that was the video. I would have showed you just the video itself, but the only way I found the video, because the show's not online anymore, is that video of me recording their reaction to the video. And so there you go. All right. Last few super chats. Basu Games, thank you for the super chat. You've motivated me to wake up every day at 8:45 a.m. I love it. That's awesome. I think waking up early really is a life hack, and I think it just helps organize your mind every day when you wake up early. So I'm a deep, deep believer. And I usually wasn't a morning person, but once I started doing the show, I was like, dude, I got to be up early to get ready. But more importantly, I got to be up early to start the day. Like, it's another day. You're alive on planet Earth. You are alive on planet Earth. That in and of itself should be enough to be like, let me get my ass out of bed and deal with all the shit I have to deal with. But still, I get a chance to live another day. And so that's kind of how I adjusted my mindset on that. Mukatur, thank you for the $28 super chat. Thanks, Amit. You have convinced, you have helped me with Palantir on my way to financial independence. Incredible. Thank you for being here, and congrats on Palantir again. All-time highs today was super awesome to see. And, the company keeps executing. Yeah, but by the way, guys, speaking of Palantir, Arnie texted me the other day, and Amit will be making it rain at the strip club tonight. Arnie texted me the other day, and he was like, bro, I don't think I could do Palantir Weekly anymore. And I was like, I understand. Like, we haven't done Palantir Weekly in a month and a half. And I talked to some of the other guys, and they were like, yeah, man, I'm just not feeling it. I think, quite frankly, there's not enough need to do a weekly episode on Palantir anymore. Like, the company's on autopilot. The reason for the podcast back then was because there was so much news to break down and dissect, and there was so much mystery and mystique around the company. And now it's just like, that doesn't exist anymore. So we're still going to be doing the earnings streams for sure. Obviously, I will still talk about Palantir in the daily recaps, but it's really hard to get a lot of people to commit their time, especially the Europeans who, live in a different time zone, to sit down and talk about a company that they already know about, and that there's just no need for them to reiterate the same thing they've been saying for 3 years. So I don't know. I don't really know if we're going to have Palantir. We might still do the Palantir monthly thing, but it's just, again, you have to be motivated to do content. And Arnie at this point is just like, Arnie's traveling. He's doing a bunch of different things. Arnie's also a couple years older than me, so he's trying to do different, things of his life. And for him to commit that every week, there's just not enough to talk about to be so, convinced in it. So we'll still do the earnings preview. We'll still do the earnings, like, episodes, all that stuff. But it's just like the weekly cadence of it is just not going to be needed as much, given the company has executed at the level that they've executed at. Same with Hood. Well, there is no Hood Weekly, as per the lawyers. But so because it's Tech Bros and not Hood anymore, Tanner, Roy, and I can probably talk about anything instead of just Robinhood. Because if it was just Hood Weekly, dude, we wouldn't have much to talk about today, because there wasn't that much news last week for Robinhood. That's why even SoFi Weekly turned into like FinTech Weekly, because you just need other topics, right? And at some point, if the company's executing, there's just like, what are you going to analyze if there's not that much to break down? So yeah, that's probably how we're thinking about it. Wow, SoFi, she's moving 30.90. Dude, either tomorrow we're gonna wake up and be happy, or we're gonna have a massive red candle and it's gonna be a sell the news. It's literally one of the. I don't think it's flat. I think it's 35 or like 26. I think that's the range. What is the implied move? Does anyone have the IV on this, or the implied volatility? I think I saw it was like 5.3%. Maybe it's more than that. It wouldn't surprise me if it's closer to 10%. SoFi tends to be super volatile on earnings. But we're going to have to see what we get in the morning. 12%? Okay, wow, 12%. That means, bro, that is, 12% from these levels. That means we're looking at either 35 or, yeah, basically what I said, or 26.50. So to call it 26 to 35. That's what we're looking at on SoFi. Okay, cool. That's what we got on SoFi. Nick, thank you for the super chat. Shirley Temple on me. Happy birthday, Nick. Thank you for the super chat. Means a ton. BNH, thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, Mid. BNH, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the channel. Alex, thank you for becoming a channel member. Happy birthday, Mid. We love everything you do. Appreciate you being here, Alex. Mahoney Jr., thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, dog. Have some Pacific Islander Kava on me. Bless up. Mahoney, thank you for the super chat. I will definitely make sure to do that. And thank you for being here. And then Nick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy B-Day again. As I work alone, you are always in the background on my screen in the car and my Bluetooth. The days you're not live are off. Appreciate you, Nick. Thank you for having me wherever you're watching me across the day. There you go. I think we got through all of it. ET, thank you for the $10 super chat. I guess you mean you're helping pay for the utility bill. So I'll take the $10 and pay for the utilities. ET's been watching for so long. He's been here since like 2022. So deeply appreciate you being part of the channel, man. And thank you for not only your comments, but also your jokes. You have been one of the funniest people in the chat, and you know how funny you are. So appreciate you being here every single day. SoFi 3087. Wow, Google's still moving as well. 270. Dude, Google's, if we see a 3 handle on Google by end of year, that means it would have doubled in 4 months after being stuck at 150 for 9 months. The Google bulls deserve all the credit in the world if this thing actually makes its way to 300 by end of year. So that would be awesome. Yeah, ET is an OG. Same thing with June. June, I love you. Thank you for being here. She's been watching the channel for 4 years. To all the mods, Ray, Michelle, June, Tess, Austin, Matt, Dougie, Spencer, Benny. All you guys have just Eddie. It's just meant the world. Cactus Jack, obviously now we're working more together, so it's awesome to have Cactus here and actually help every single day to really make this happen. Dragos, all you guys, it means a lot, dude. It means a lot. And one thing, I haven't said this publicly yet. Well, maybe I did say this publicly. I don't know if I did. But one of the goals of the meetups is we're going to try to create a fund with the meetup money. And I'm going to try to get as many mods as I can get to the meetups. Because in Miami, the vibe was just so much better when you have all these people that are part of the meetups. And I'm not going to be able to fly out every single mod, but I want to be able to, if Doug can make it, if Michelle can, if at least 5 or 6 of you guys can make it to the meetup, then I think it would be a great experience because a lot of you guys in the chat know the mods because they're there every day. And, it just makes it a more brighter experience when you have a lot more people there that everyone already knows. So we're going to try to get the mods to as many meetups as possible. Some of them probably won't be able to come if it's too far away, but for the ones that can make it, I'm going to try to take care of that and make sure they're there and have a good time. So Ray says Maddie's actually flying us all out. Dude, Maddie can afford to fly out all 2,000 people in the chat to freaking come to these meetups. I still don't know why Matt Money's working. He just loves stacking more dollar bills on top of his dollar bills. But yeah, hopefully we can get Matt to a bunch of these meetups as well. Matt is actually the one of the number one people that a lot of you guys have told me you got to speak to at the Miami meetup and that you loved speaking to was Matt Money. And a lot of you guys know him because he has his own channel and you watch his content as well. But there's a ton of you guys that are like, dude, Matt was awesome. It was so cool to meet him in person and talk to him. And he's a great guy. He's a great, great guy. So it's really fun to make this happen in person. All right, cool. That's what we got. It's going to be a long week. Tomorrow we're starting at 7:25. 7:25. What's the over under? You think Steve's going to wake up and be on time? I'm saying no. I think Steve's going to be late. Steve was talking to me over the weekend, and Steve was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up on time. I was like, he's like, I can't get up at 6:30. I was like, no, we're gonna go live at like 7:25. He's like, okay, maybe that's more reasonable. I still think he might not be able to make it. So we're gonna see if Steve will be up with us. But we're already starting at 7:25. We got SoFi, PayPal, and UNH. SoFi earnings are at 7 a.m. I will not be live from 7 to 7:25 Eastern. Yes, Eastern. So for those that want the immediate coverage on SoFi numbers, Tanner. Tanner is the guy you go to. And then if you want Steve and I's take at 7:30, we'll be live. And we will break down the numbers the best that we can. 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. will be the call. By the way, Tanner's channel right there in the chat, so you guys can subscribe to him there. He'll be live early morning. 8 a.m. will be Noto on the call. So from 7:25 to 8, we're going to analyze the numbers. Hopefully the stock is moving in the right direction. 8 a.m. we'll listen to the call. Call will be done probably. Call is not going to be done till 9. My channel is definitely not going to listen to the whole thing because it's going to get boring at some point, and we're going to look at the other news. So we're going to probably cut it off at like 8:45-ish, and then we'll get into the market news. And then we'll take a look at PayPal and UNH. So we have tons and tons and tons of coverage tomorrow. We're not going to have Technical Tuesday tomorrow. Jason also, he's not going to be able to make it. He's busy doing a lot of stuff. But we said last week we weren't going to be able to do it. Next week on Tuesday, we'll do it. And then we'll have all the earnings. So we'll have, about 70% of the S&P 500 done. So that the technical analysis will actually make more sense. Like you can't do TA on Google before Google report. It just doesn't make sense to do it tomorrow. So we'll have Jason on next week. And then we have GTC. Oh, shit. I might not be able to stream. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. Okay. I have the dentist at 11:30. Damn, I might not be able to do GTC. Okay, I'm going to have to figure this out. Does anyone know what time GTC is? If it's at 1, I'm not going to be able to stream it. Or I'm going to have to cancel on the dentist. And I don't want to cancel on the dentist. The dentist is beautiful. I don't know. How would I cancel on a beautiful woman? That's not like, I don't. But GTC is going to be important, bro. It's NVIDIA. I might have to tell her. I got something else to do, bro. Okay, we'll see. I'll call them up after this and see what open slots they have. But yeah, so then it'll be GTC probably at like 1 p.m. And then after that, we have market close. We got a bunch of earnings tomorrow on the market close as well. Tons of different earnings. So we have Visa, big company, Cheesecake, EA Sports, Mondelez, Bookings, Enphase, Stargate. And we got a ton of companies reporting after the bell. In the morning, you have UPS, Next Era, UNH, PayPal, obviously SoFi, Royal Caribbean, DHI, Home Builder, Sherwin-Williams. So you got a lot of companies tomorrow that we'll be taking a look at and analyzing throughout the day. Dude, everyone's saying screw the dentist, bro. Damn, you guys. It's at 12 p.m. I'm going to have to cancel. The appointment's at 11:30. I'm going to have to cancel. Dude, GTC is I think this is going to be an important GTC. Also, they're going to be in DC. Like, this is not a GTC I'd want to miss, especially as an NVIDIA shareholder. This is one that I would want to actually keep track of. Yeah, I can't miss GTC. All right, so I'll tell the dentist, it's not you, it's me. And that's what I'm going to have to say. Did you just say screw the dentist? Yes, I did. Your minds are all very dirty, but I did say that. So anyway, if you want Tanner's coverage in the morning directly at 7 a.m., here's his channel. You can join as soon as SoFi numbers come out. I think Tanner will probably be live 5 minutes before the numbers come out. So as soon as the numbers come out, I would recommend being there with Tanner, and you'll get immediate coverage from him. And then if you want more broader coverage with SoFi, we'll be live in the market open tomorrow, starting around 7:30. I'm sorry, Amid's dentist. I'm sorry. It's Jensen, bro. It's Jensen. We got GTC. Okay, is there anything else? I think that's it. And then Wednesday, I think Wednesday I'm going to be live all day, to be honest. I think Wednesday's going to be live all day, so we'll see what we do Wednesday, but Wednesday's going to be a massive day. Jose is going to be on, and Couch Investor will be on for the close on Wednesday with Google, Meta, Microsoft. So we'll have a full house ready, and it's going to be madness trying to analyze all the numbers, but it'll be a big one, and we'll try to do what we can do. Okay, cool. That is it. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Means the world. Thank you for the birthday wishes. If you DM'd or sent a text message, I'm trying to respond to everybody, but I deeply appreciate those that reached out. Again, you do not need to. The fact that so many people even care about, a birthday is like, it's something I'm very, very, very grateful for. I do not take it for granted. Strangers across the world who even take time out of their day to wish me a happy birthday. It's like, no one needs to do that. And so the fact that people do that, that is something I really eternally am grateful for. And, my mom, when I was growing up, always made sure birthdays were special. As I've gotten older, there's not that much of an emphasis on your birthday being as special because you just don't need to have that emphasis. But when I was younger and, I was living at home and it would be like my 10th birthday, 11th birthday, she would have the same routine. She would come in the morning, she would wake me up and she would sing happy birthday and give me a hug while I was in bed. And, it's like to go from that in those younger years to now celebrating it with thousands of strangers because of the community that's been built. It's the journey of a lifetime. It really, really is the journey of a lifetime. And really, I've been doing a lot more 2026 planning. I think 2026 is just going to be crazier. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the stock market. I'm hoping it's another bull market year, but even if it's not, I think from a content perspective, which obviously it helps content if the markets are going up, but even without that, I think there's going to be a lot of different elements of the channel that we're going to bring up. And, I kind of had this vision going into 2025, but 2025, I think, was more of me like solidifying the market open, market close every day, like really establishing what is this product, what is the value of it, how consistent can you be, and how much value can you deliver every single day. And I think it's safe to say to myself that, there's been a level of work put into really making this something that I care about doing every single day. So for 2026, I'm thinking of a lot of different diversified ways of content and media. And there's just a lot of ideas that I'm excited for. And I think we can take a lot of stuff to the next level. If it's a bear market, it'll be the year of therapy. Yeah, I mean, look, if S&P's down 20% next year, which, look, I don't think that's happening given the earnings growth. You can give me all your macro reasons and bubble this, bubble that. But like, if Google's putting up 100-something billion in net income, I don't really think we have to have a 20% drawdown. But if we do, we're all going to deal with it together. And we'll all figure out how to navigate and deal with the markets, whether they're up or down. And that's the cool part of this community. So there you go. Thank you, everybody. SoFi making its move after hours. We're going to see what happens. I will be live 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, I deeply appreciate everyone who has been on this journey, everyone who has cared. It's nice to see all-time highs across the entire market today, so it was a fun day. But we're all doing this every single day together, which is really what makes this fun. So there we go. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for all the super chats. Deeply, deeply, deeply means a ton. And Mid's dentist. See you at 11:30 tomorrow in my office. Dude, I completely forgot about GTC. I can't miss GTC. You never know what Jensen's gonna say. That's not an easy one to miss. So we're gonna have to miss that, and I'll be live at 12 p.m. Live at 12 p.m. Eastern. All right, thank you, everybody. Means the world. Love you all. Thank you again. Very, very grateful for this entire community. Gonna keep trying to just do what we do, keep building, and yeah, it is truly, truly, truly one of the greatest blessings of my life to be in this position, very privileged position. Do not want to take it for granted. Want to continue making the show better and better and better. And the fact that so many people care about it, it means the world. It really, really means the world. So there we go. For all the winners, please email. It is amitkukraja@gmail.com. If anyone else just wants to send any email for something they've been meaning to say but haven't been able to get in touch, that is the Gmail. I will try to respond to as many emails as I can every day. But that is the new email. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the Market Open. Also tonight, for anyone who cares about Tech Bros, I'll be live with Tanner and Roy We'll discuss a bunch of stuff going on in the markets, and then I'll be live tomorrow for the market open. All right. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the market open. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.